It didn't do that.
Still my vibration, yeah, positive.
Good morning, everybody.
And you got to live, I vibration, yeah, positive.
You gotta have a good vibe.
Got to have a good vibe.
Vibration, yeah, positive. I think we need an earth too, by the way. Positive vibration, yeah, positive. You got to have a good time. You cannot get down and quarrel every day. You listen to Bob, listen to what he's about to say next. It means you are saying prayers to the devil, he says. It's got to be a new time. New time. Got to be Earth 2. Earth 2. Oh no, you got to help each other on the way. It'll make it much easier if you don't fight the other poor people. I don't know the words. Say you just can't live in that negative way. If you know what I mean. Make way for the positive day. As it's a new feeling. I'm gonna make these words up here. New time. I'm gonna make this one up too. It's a new earth on the day. A new vibe. Oh, it's a new day. Pick it up now. Share it out now. Are you picking up now? Are you picking up on it? Shalom, protect us. Shalom, protect us. I need you to hear somebody real quick. Bye. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
No, hello. Not yet, brother. Hang on. Protect us. Mastermind vibration. Yeah. Tina's in the house. And you got to live. Now I am my vibration. Yeah. Trisha's in the house. Got to have a good day. Good morning, everybody. We're almost ready to go. YouTube real quick. Whoa. I got a few things I want to share. It's going to take a minute. Pick it up now. I should make Earth 2 now. It's time to make Earth 2. Earth 2 now. Time to make Earth 2 now. Shalom, protect us. Earth 1 is burned up. Not just physically, not just very physically, psychologically. Earth 2, let me bring you to. Actually, I'm going to start talking while I'm getting ready. Protect us. What have you learned from this? Learn anything? Ask that question this morning. Y'all learn anything? Anything new? Do you believe anything different from 7 months ago? I did a post on that. I want to look at that. But first, let me put YouTube down here. And then I'm going to let this brother. It's a blessing when you hear other people say what you're saying. Like you come to your own understandings, you do your own research. I was listening to this brother this morning. Listen to this.
I'm Jeff here at StopThePirates.blogspot.com. It's 8/31/2020, and in the democracy, the only real right that you have is the right to vote. And there's been court cases. I mean, people, if they don't fulfill their, I'm talking about the politicians who are liars, don't fulfill their promises, there's nothing you can do about it. So they tell you anything, and nothing ever gets done. And there's no consequences. But they really need to get you to vote every 4 years. And you look at it now, and it's just, man, it's going to be a referendum, for Trump or Biden, both of which one guy who's a silver spoon billionaire, and other guy who's a retard. I don't know. The other guy kind of scares me a little bit more. But no matter who gets in there, the same agenda is going to take place, and nothing's going to change. You're going to get your forced vaccines by the military. Your businesses will probably be shut down again. lose your job. It doesn't matter. The thing is, when you vote, you give your power away. You're agreeing to everything. Yes, I agree. I'll sign. Here, let me register to vote. And what's messed up is the chattel debt slaves, the serfs here at the bottom, which is what we are. There's owners. They own us. They own the paperwork, just like a car, and they treat us like children. Unless you've taken control of your estate, you're going to be in their system and be treated like a child. Which is, they sit around and talk about us, all the poor things. Don't tell them the truth. They know a bunch of people are going to die in the next 4.5 years, 5 years. But it's the way they want it, and it's for their benefit, not for any of us. It's like the people who are protesting. It's like, what are you protesting? I mean, bottom line it for me. Well, you're protesting against racism. Well, I mean, don't you worry about your jobs or the forced vaccinations or a Federal Reserve that's a privately owned foreign corporation that prints the money and is enslaving you? I mean, isn't that something? I mean, go to the head of the snake. I mean, protest that. I mean, the people at the top that print the money out of nothing are the ones paying you to go out and paying these people to go out and protest. And it's like living in the Twilight Zone or something. For an election time, the masses of people go through the useless motion of registering, obtaining legal residence in the Washington, D.C. See, it's your straw man. It's your name in all capital letters that is you're representing that gets the vote, not you. Standing in line to vote for the U.S. president that is apparently unbeknownst to the vast majority of the population, actually indirectly elected by 538 congressional appointed electors every 4 years, not by the people. So it's actually because Washington, D.C. gets three electoral votes out of the 538 electoral votes. So yeah, it's a poll. When you go to the polling station, they're just taking a poll, which way you're leaning, and it's always about 49-50 the country. It's always kind of right in there, so it can go either way. And this seems to reveal that a great and purposeful culling of reason, logic, and especially knowledge has taken place within the population center of the nation of America, a people contractually enslaved by a corporation called the United States, seemingly without their comprehension. They think it's a country, and they honestly do, and that's why I'm out here going, hey, over here, look what's going on. Oh, you crazy conspiracy theorist. Yeah. Is the knowledge that must find its way into the hearts and minds of the indentured subjects of the corporate state, if for no other reason than to make them unfit to be slaves to a president that they don't even elect. Only by exposing the true history of this central corporation we mistakenly call a country will the people ever be free to rid themselves of its tyranny. For tyranny is freedom. The more laws to obey, the more freedom to obey those laws we have. Freedom is a privilege granted by government. You haven't guessed, and it is an exact opposite of being free. Here's a quote. In reality, when the voters of North Carolina voted this past November, they were actually voting to pick this slate of electors instead of voting directly for the president and the vice president. Elaine Marshall, Secretary of State of North Carolina, speaking at the 2012 Electoral College ceremony. So all of this, it's all a psyop, you watch, but what's fucked up is people around you think it's real, and you get caught up in the middle of it. I find myself too, well, Trump, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, what the fuck am I talking about? It's not even real. It's something just to keep the slaves busy. It's a show. It's a carnival. It's a circus. And now that everything else is shut down, the sports and the bread and circus, it boggles the mind that anyone can really still believe that the appointment of a commander-in-chief of the United States military, U.S. president, will be left up to the popular vote of the common people. I know, man. There's no effing way they would ever let the slaves dictate of what happens with this corporate. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. There's so many countries that they're involved in and wars that we don't even know about. There's like 7 wars going on right now. I can't even name them all. But apparently the solution is a powerful one, as the millions upon millions of subjects are still voting in droves. They have to get you to vote. They have to get you to register. I've showed you guys the UCC1 financing statement.
It's a good place to pause. How many wars did they stop for the global pandemic? I'm just curious. I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Like, because something was coming to kill and murder the whole human species. It just came for all of us. It was going to kill everybody. How many wars did they stop? How many resources did they reallocate to their citizens? What did NATO do to prove to you that they're scared? Which, by the way, I got my strike yesterday. I got my false information of the strike on my video. Said, you have false information. You said it was a bioweapon. I had never said that in my life. And this is the part where somebody records this clip in the video, and I said that like 3 months ago. That's okay. Listen, social media is a toy, people. Y'all take all of this stuff way too serious. They deleted my account. Okay, so these things are toys. They're adult toys. They're just adult toys that don't get you off in that sort of way, but they still get everybody off. So I want to clarify something from that yesterday. No, I never said it's a bioweapon. We have professional scientists who say that it looks like, might kind of sort have been perhaps something that ain't right and organic. Okay? Let's clarify. Don't be telling no fake news, Facebook and the rest of y'all fact checkers. Which, besides the way, if you haven't seen the Ben Swan video, you know exactly who they are. Okay? The same person that gave hundreds of millions of dollars to the media for the last a year or so, since all this is happening, the same person that has no degree from any medical, biological, physiological, medicinalical, anything, who've been on TV all damn year, telling you what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to believe, and all that. The same person who funded all the media, which is why he's on there all day long, is the same person behind the fact checkers. Watch the last Ben Swan video. It'll bless you. It'll bless you. But so we know they're not checking facts. I just want to clarify that one thing. There are things that the FBI needs to be FBI-ing. There's some things that the CIA need to CIA-ing, and Homeland Security need to be Homeland and securing, and they aren't doing it. So I appreciate this brother right now. I don't know why. Because he's talking truth. He's talking very truthful things. We literally do not have a government. And we got too many people who are still acting like it, right? We have governing corporations. You might have a state government, you might have regional government, but your prime ministers and presidents, they got replaced by a corporation a very long time ago. And that's why they all capitulate to what's happening. Like my country, you've got Americans and you got United States Incorporatedicans. And I'm not a United States Incorporated. I'm an American. And we need more of the CIA and the FBI and Homeland Security, all the acronym agencies. We need y'all to get back to your oaths. We need y'all to come back to actually the homeland and start doing what you're supposed to be doing. That man needs to be in prison. But anyway, not that man, not this man, not this man. But ooh, something else. I do want to continue with him because he's telling some great stuff. But there's another, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. We'll watch it.
The Department of the Defense and Homeland Security used to borrow money based on, $14.3 quadrillion they borrow in 2011. And a quadrillion is 1,000 trillion. So it's just, it's a joke, okay? And you're working for what, $10? And I'm not saying that, but
Very bad joke.
a good money is $100,000 a year, I guess, depending on where you live. And these people are just rolling in it. It's like they don't know what to do with it all. But apparently this illusion is a powerful one, as millions upon millions of subjects are still voting in droves, urged on by billions upon billions of dollars spent on maintaining the illusion with the media entertainment. Some standing in line for hours upon hours while suffering mental and physical abuses, even as the actual election is held in college by congressional and political party appointed electors. So continues the illusion of choice by an indentured society that has no idea that it is chained.
Can I get a hello? Who's it? Ralph Smart. I was listening to Ralph Smart this morning. Can I get? He just told you have no influence in your election because of the electoral college, right? You don't elect presidents to begin with, so you can kind of stop posting on them. It's not actually you that's doing it. It's the electorate, okay? You're just there pulling a lever of consent. You're just saying, I consent to whatever they decide to vote for me, and then they decide. But I don't think it matters anyway. I don't think they count the votes. You have a corporation. There are layers upon layers upon layers to this scam, assuming they even count your votes. Assuming they even do that, right? So, and I was thinking about it this another way this morning. Because I always keep asking that question. Well, you're not gonna vote. Do you think that's gonna help? I always said no, it ain't gonna help. They don't care. They don't care if I vote or don't vote. I don't think it'll even get their attention. It won't even be on their radar. They don't care what you do. They own you. Okay? As long as the chains are on, master will let the slaves think about anything they want to think about. You can eat pig feet or pig feet. It's up to you. You eat pig feet or chitlins. They really don't care. It ain't gonna change anything. But I think something might. One thing this brother talked about was unregistering. Maybe. I don't know if it'll change anything, but I think if people in mass unregister, that actually is making a statement. Now, I don't know if they care about that statement, but it's making a statement. Right? I think you'll elicit a response. I think if millions of people across the world all started unregistering to consent to a system that's obviously being controlled above their governments, where they thought they had a government, I think the system would respond. It would have a response. I don't know what that response would be. I don't think it'd capitulate and give us Earth 2. I don't think it'd do that, but I think it would recognize millions of people who no longer believe in Earth 1, no longer believe in an Earth controlled by a few, no longer who believe in Earth controlled by banks, people who no longer believe in slavery. I think that makes a statement. So apparently you can go to your Secretary of State if you live in the United States, and that's how you unregister to vote, and that is where I'm going. That is where I'm going. I will certainly make sure my number is counted, and I don't give two damns about your colonizer, pedo, blow up the planet, steal their resources system. I don't care about it. I am not a United States Incorporated kin. Apparently, I've been consenting to all this all the time, so I'm gonna withdraw my consent anywhere I can. Started kind of heavy, but I gotta take something else real quick. I gotta take you to something else. Good morning, everybody. I didn't greet anybody. You're supposed to greet people when they come in the house. You're supposed to. Yes, Elaine, it is all theater. It is all theater for the entertainment and enslavement of anybody stupid, naive enough to believe it. Naive enough to believe it. I don't believe anymore. If anything has taught me in the last year, last 8 months, it's that things are far more darker than what they ever appear. Whatever runs this planet is far more spiritually dark than anything. The last 8 months, most of my friends perhaps learned how to be scared of viruses and hide in their house. I haven't. I think I've learned that it's reinforced my spirituality. That's what it's done. It's reinforced my spirituality because it's obvious that there's something far no more nefarious and dark happening on this planet. It's easier to fool someone than convince them they've been fooled. It is, Christ. It is so much easier. And most of my friends were fooled. And you know what the funny thing? A lot of people, Christ, who call themselves truthers, were fooled. They were fooled. But you know, it's okay. It's still okay. It's good to know where everybody stands. It's good to know where you gotta know where everybody stands. You gotta know who you can trust and who you can't. You gotta know whose information you can trust. You gotta know who does research, not the person, but usually their page. Like a brother said something to me yesterday. He said, he still believes you can trust the news more than you can trust social media. My personal opinion, I still trust social media more. I have some influence in what I see on social media. I have zero influence on what I see on the news. I can filter a little bit. I can filter who I have friends. I can filter whose timelines I see. And there are people who have been saying things that have been right for probably the past 10 years or so. People who I know do a little more research. People who I know who think a little deeper. People who understand that this is all a game, but they're playing the game to win. I have some influence, and that influence is dying more every day, which is why you got this movement or this group protest where we're supposed to be flocking for social media, certain sites. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if that's the answer. I still got to process that information, but we still have some influence. And put it this way, pick your poison. How about that? Pick your poison. Like I tell people all the time, I'm vegetarian. I try to eat as raw as possible. I try to eat as healthy as possible. I try to protect grandmama. This is zucchini. I have no idea what zucchini fresh out the ground tastes like. I'm about to find out. So I eat raw food all the time. But as you saw yesterday, I damn sure ate that apple pie. I ate that apple pie. No, I'm not here to play with you. The human body can take a lot of abuse, but you kind of got to pick your poisons, right? Pick your poison. You know, don't eat that ultimate Whopper anymore. Impossible Whopper, whatever it's called. But I damn sure have international creamer in my coffee. You got to pick your poison. And my poison I've picked in terms of what I let in my brain, it usually is what comes from people. I will trust people more than I would ever trust a corporation because they're people. I still don't trust them, but I know that I have invested stock with the people, all the people, not some of the people, all the people. I have more vested interest with the Ku Klux Klan, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, progressives, conservatives, Christians, Muslims, Islam, Muslims, Hindu, Buddhists, Taoists, Chinese, Russian, American. I have more vested interest with the have-nots of all those groups than any of the haves. Any of that. QAnon, all of them. Flat Earthers, bring them on. We all gonna live or die together. We all gonna thrive or keep being enslaved together. So all of them I call brothers and sisters. I don't have to agree with them, but I know that they're not paid to lie to me. I know they have no vested interest in lying to me. The things that they say, I tend to believe that they believe what they say. But their leaders, the people who lead them, I have no vested interest. None at all, at all, at all. I mean, those people are so far gone, they need straitjackets. Anybody who wants to lead you is insane. That is my belief. Anyone who wants to lead you is insane. I gotta take you over here to something else. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm sorry. I just saw that the vaccine is ready. It's like, bing, pie's done. I know it. I knew it. I told you that they would that they would have the cure for humanity before they even isolate what the problem is. I told you that. I told you that the pie's done. Apparently, oh, okay, right. The October surprise, right? That's the what is this? RT. So they every year, the election year, every 2 years after they pull the whole Zika, swine flu, Ebola, SARS, COVID, after they pull that nonsense, they always have something that they want. They write the lobbyist checks, the politicians take them, but then they have that every 4 years. They got the October surprise, the thing that pulls you in. And so apparently, because they have enough fear in the population, the October surprise is going to be your cure. So I've got to figure out what hell state I'm going to evacuate to. Because I'm not taking none of that nonsense. Check this out. Now, while, and this, I'm I have to say it. So you see people's faces and they already got that indoctrination going. They've determined whether they believe what the person says is true or not based on that ignorance. I'm gonna let this brother talk for a minute. And what he says is true. Ignore any affiliations that he has. I actually think inside of the United States Incorporated Corporation that there actually are a few Americans. I actually do. I think there are a couple. I think this man is one of them. I don't think that he goes as far as I want him to go. I don't think he's become his father yet, but I will say he stands up more for Americans working in the United States Incorporated than anybody I've seen in recent times. So check this out. And of course, it's election time, so if you still believe in the system and TV and being enslaved and chains and child slavery and all that stuff with bankers, then you can just click off if you don't want to hear what he's got to say. I'm actually in this for the adults. I'm in this for people who want to be mature, not play the game, and come about real solutions for very real times that the children of this planet need real solutions.
I think government health experts during this pandemic need to show caution in their prognostications. It's important to realize that if society meekly submits to an expert and that expert is wrong, a great deal of harm may occur when we allow one man's policy or one group of small men and women to be foisted on an entire nation. Take, for example, government experts who continue to call for schools and daycare to stay closed, or that recommend restrictions that make it impossible for a school to function. For a time, there may not have been enough information about coronavirus in children, but now there is. There are examples from all across the United States and the world that show that young children rarely spread the virus. Let's start in Europe. 22 countries have reopened their schools and have seen no discernible increases in cases. These graphs behind me show no surge when schools open. The red line is where the schools opened. There is data from Austria, Belgium, Denmark, France, Germany, Netherlands. No spike when schools are opened. Contact tracing studies in China, Iceland, Britain, and the Netherlands failed to find a single case of child to adult infection. Here at home, child care for essential workers continued to be available in some states throughout the pandemic. Brown University researchers collected data on daycares that remained open during the pandemic. Over 25,000 kids in their study found that only 0.16% got COVID. And when you looked at the confirmed cases for staff, there was about 1% of more than 9,000 staff. The YMCA also has put forward statistics. 40,000 kids at 1,100 sites. There were no reports of coronavirus outbreaks or clusters. Dr. Joshua Sharfstein of Johns Hopkins writes, there is converging evidence that the coronavirus doesn't transmit among children like the flu, that it is a lower risk. Just yesterday, the American Academy of Pediatrics says we got to get kids back in school. We want them physically present in school. They even cite mounting evidence that children are less likely to contract the virus. Ultimately, this all comes down to the fatal conceit that central planners have enough knowledge somehow to tell a nation of 330 million people what they can and can't do. Perhaps our planners might think twice before they weigh in on every subject. Perhaps our government experts might hold their tongue before expressing the opinion whether we can play NFL football or Major League Baseball. Not in October. Perhaps our experts might think twice before telling the whole world that a COVID vaccine likely won't provide herd immunity. We don't know. Why weigh in with these opinions that we have no knowledge of? These are forecasts that may well be wrong.
So I'm going to say it in a nice way because he said it in a way that was too long. He kind of sounded like me for a minute. I'm going to sound like other people. He's just saying, don't be ignorant. That's all he's saying. Don't be ignorant. Don't be ignorant. What is ignorant? Ignorant is pretending to know something you don't know. Saying something that you don't know. Making a decision on no data or limited data, not enough data, ignorant. He's saying to the government, don't be ignorant. And he's saying to one particular person, actually two of them, well, one of them who actually works in the government, that you have been running your ignorant mouth since the very beginning. And you've been wrong on pretty much every damn thing, every lie that's fallen out your mouth, every last bone has been wrong. Why is anybody still listening to what has become the epitome of ignorance, wrapped up in a small package with an annoying voice? Why does anybody still listen to this man? You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say the name. He might appear later, but we're not going to say the name because now we understand who's behind the fact checkers. We understand that no facts are allowed. We do understand that all of this has been paid off and bought from the media down to social media and the commercials. If that man is not a billionaire, he is going to be very soon. And if he is not in the big club, it's damn sure his family's application is at the top of the pile. And why? Because, well, one, it's a big club and very few people are in it. And if anybody's going to get in that big club, it's going to be someone who makes the 0.01% trillions of dollars and rolls out a global medical police state to allow them to enslave every man, woman, and child to digital currency, drones, AI, social credit scoring, and be able to force their product in their veins whenever they choose to.
Perhaps our experts might consider the undue fear they are instilling in teachers who are now afraid to go back to work. No one knows the answers to these questions. We shouldn't presume that a group of experts somehow knows what's best for everyone. Hayek had it right. Only decentralized power and decision-making based on millions of individualized situations can arrive at what risks and behaviors each individual should choose.
Ooh, ding, teacher, gotta say something real quick. That's Tony Smith. If y'all don't follow Tony Smith, you should follow him. The man just came out of Facebook prison. Hey, free Tony! Welcome back, Tony. Anybody who has posts taken down, false information put on them, or deleted or banned is somebody that you need to follow. You need to follow Tony Smith for the reason I like solutions and practical information. No solutions, right? He said decentralized. He did a whole video and he explained to you decentralized. What's wrong with everything is centralization. Centralization. Centralizing power basically is taking the power and the energy of adults. So that man is someone you need to follow. That man is someone who understands. He understands when you centralize policing, policing ain't gonna work. He understands when you centralize doctors, doctor ain't gonna work. When you centralize teaching, teaching ain't gonna work. Anything that you centralize, you take power from people, parents, and professionals for a powerful elite that seem to have global influence and nobody even know who they are. Decentralized, practical solutions, and that's what people don't like at election time. They don't want a solution, they just want to win. See, they're still playing football, they're still playing Jersey, they're still playing, my team needs to beat that team, and they have absolutely no influence in what's going on directly in what they want to do. But they damn sure consent to whatever's coming. Whatever they have planned, they absolutely consent to. So real solution, decentralized.
That's what America was founded on. Not a herd with a couple of people in Washington all telling us what to do and we like sheep blindly follow. This all begs the question, what are we going to tell the people the truth? That it's okay to take their kids back to school. Dr. Fauci, every day, virtually every day, we seem to hear from you things we can't do. But when you're asked, can we go back to school? I don't hear much certitude at all. I hear, well, maybe it depends. All of this body of evidence about schools around the world shows there's no surge. All of the evidence shows that it's rare. I mean, we've so politicized this and made it politically correct that the WHO releases that it's rare, and you have a scientist up there honestly giving her opinion. What happens to her? She's blackballed, and her report that she refers to is taken off the website. When you go to that scientist's speech and you try to click on the link, the WHO has now screened it from us because it said something that's not politically correct. That, guess what? It's rare for kids to transmit this. But I hear nothing of that coming from you. All I hear, Dr. Fauci, is we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't play baseball. Well, even that's not based on the science. I mean, flu season peaks in February. We don't know that COVID's going to be like the flu season. It might, but we don't know that. But we wouldn't ban school in October. You might close some schools when they get the flu. We need to not be so presumptuous that we know everything. But my question to you is, can't you give us a little bit more on schools that we can get back to school, that there's a great deal of evidence and it's actually good evidence that kids aren't transmitting this. It's rare. And that kids are staying healthy and that, yes, we can open our schools.
Mr. Chairman, do I have a little bit of time to...
Well, I give you a little...
Now, before I let the demon answer, I want to go ahead and, I'm sorry. He's a demon. I'm sorry. There's something wrong with this man. Love him to death, but he's being manipulated. He needs an exorcism. That's what we need to get something out of him. He's got something in him. He was born an innocent little baby on this planet too. Before he was indoctrinated and controlled, and now some sort of K-Paxian control, some demonic spirit has him. So I'm gonna try to answer it for him because I know what he's gonna say. I already know what he's gonna say. He's gonna give you the Fauci shuffle. That's what he's gonna do. I'm gonna call it the Fauci shuffle. Not spell it correct. Foulsee. Fauci. That's what I'm talking about. It's a guy we won't go into. He's gonna do the Fauci shuffle because he's foul. It's foul. It's foul to keep children out of school. It's foul to send them to school. It's foul not to fix a school because school is more indoctrination than anything else. But it's foul to send them with face masks. You need to open up the school, send kids back to school, then delete the Department of Education. That's a whole nother conversation. But why would they not send kids back to school? Process that. Listen to what he just said. And he is a brave man, Christine. I think Rand Paul is following in the footsteps of his father. I highly respect his father. I think his father is an American. I don't always agree with him, but I think his father is an American. I think his father reminds me of my Facebook friends who will tell you exactly what he thinks. I always listen to people who will tell me exactly what they think if they're critically thinking and they defy the popular narrative, right? So Ron Paul has always been one who defied the popular narrative. I voted for him once. Still, United States Incorporated wouldn't have done nothing if he won. They'd have killed him like JFK, or he would have followed the narrative. The powers that are in place are far beyond presidents. So I appreciate Rand, and he is a brave man. I don't think he's saying everything his father is saying yet, but we won't go through that. The only reason to keep kids at home is to bring pain upon the parents. That's what I think. Yeah, family's supposed to be together, but you inflict more pain. This is a hurt locker, right? That's what's going on. That's what I see going. This is a hurt locker. The more hurt you put on the public, the more they will beg for your product. They will beg, they will shoot it in their own veins, right? They'll ignore the 6%, which is 9,210 people actually died from this thing. More people die in car accidents every month. More people die of cancer. More people die of cardiovascular disease. More people, butterflies might, okay? Butterflies might. Then you kill millions of people in the shutdown. That's why we need to be serious about this and stop playing. All right, y'all ready for the Fauci shuffle? But we'll do the Fauci shuffle. But it's a hurt locker, right? The more you hate your cage, the more you hate your open air prison, like Palestine. The more you hate it, the more you will do anything to get out. The more you will do anything that your lords and kings tell you to do. And that's what they need. They need your neighbor to turn on you. They need your mother to turn on you. They need your brother to turn. They need your sister, your wife, your husband. They need those people to be in so much pain, to hate walking around face diapers, to hate being unemployed, to hate and to blame you for all of it. Never mind, you gotta love these people, but just look at what's going on. Hungry people, you can get to do anything. That's why they banned the selling of seeds for a period of time. They shut down the garden centers and the things. They were killing chickens and cows. Why? Food scarcity. The more they hurt you, the more they whip you, the more you will do exactly what your masters want you to do. Now let's let the demon do the shuffle.
That was well over 5 minutes, but we'll
Thank you, Senator
go ahead and
Paul.
please answer the question.
Yeah, so very quickly, Senator Paul, I agree with a lot of what you say about,
And while I'm gonna let him finish talking, I gotta say one more thing. Keep in mind, if you are unemployed right now, you got friends unemployed, you got people down the street unemployed just looking at your thick thighs like chicken bones, like they wanna put them on the fryer or some barbecue sauce, who are unemployed, ain't got no food. There's a whole bunch of people out there got no food. Consider the fact that he just started off laughing. He actually just started off laughing. And this man has a job. Not only does this man have a job, he is a millionaire. Not only is he a millionaire, he's probably close to being a billionaire from all of this.
this idea about people having to put their opinions out without data. And sometimes you have to make extrapolations because you're in a position where you need to at least give some sort of recommendation. But if you were listening, and I think you were.
Bullshizzle. You don't ever have to give a recommendation. That's a lie. If you're an adult, you're grown and you're mature, and you are in a position that can kill millions of people if you open your big mouth, you can say, I don't know. Well, Mr. Ignorant, what are we supposed to do? I have no idea. Well, Mr. Ignorant, should we, do you understand that we haven't even isolated this thing yet? See, that's what I would do if I was the little demon. Gerard, what we gonna do? Something's happening in China is coming here. Well, I have no idea. Do you know what's happening in China? Okay, why are you asking me what we should do? Would you like me to say something ignorant? Or would you like me to say something intelligent? Or would you like to say something intelligent? Okay, then we need to wait and find out what's happening. Something's happening and we have no damn idea. You need to make decisions in your own damn life because you're your own damn adult what you need to do. We got these things called face diapers. Some people say they work, some people say they don't. But us and the government, we regulate with OSHA that if you're going to work with this particular strain of what they're talking about, you need to have Level 3 positive pressure bioweapon suit. So if you got a debilitated immune system, if you've been eating glyphosate your entire life, jacked up your thyroid, you have any of the popular plagues that we've subsidized for farmers to put all this poison on these crops, then you need to stay at home. If you're a little older and you're a victim of allopathic Rockefeller medicine that we have not turned off, and you're on 27 pills, you need to stay home. You need to get yourself a positive pressure suit, but we ain't gonna buy it for you because that's not what we do. And my name is Gerard. No, I'm not fighting the system by myself. Y'all got to make this decision as a group of monkeys, a whole troop of monkeys. I don't know, people. I don't know. Yes, I know you paid me $100. How much does he make? $190,000. I make $190,000 a year. Yes, and I have no idea. But you pay me the money to be honest with you. You don't pay me the money to make up crap. I own I'm a big investor in the corporation that creates the PCR test. That's the other thing I'd probably say. Listen, hey, people, hey, don't ask me too much, okay? I own a company that actually has the ability to do a test that will make me millions of dollars if I tell you the wrong thing. So I'm gonna tell you ahead of time. You do what you need to do. Well, Mr. Gerard C., should we lock down the country? I think that you need to make your own decisions. That's what I think. Do you put your pants legs on by yourself? Yeah, okay. You wear diapers? No, I don't wear no diapers no more. Okay. Do you feed yourself? Yeah, I feed myself. Do you decide what you need to eat? Yeah, I do. Do you decide whether you eat organic or not? Yeah, I do. Decide if you eat cooked food or raw food? You decide that too? Okay, guess what? You can decide if you feel like going outside. See, the thing that I trust is that if you are actually in a global Sharknado, and sharks is out there killing each other, flying around in tornadoes and stuff, I don't think you need to have commercials. I've said that a million times. You don't need to have commercials for Sharknado. You don't need to do that. People ain't stupid. People aren't dumb. If people out there dropping like flies and blood shooting out their eyes, their anuses and their mouths and just got goo everywhere on the street and stuff like a zombie apocalypse, ain't nobody going outside. You don't need commercials for that. Okay? Common sense. You don't need commercials. That's exactly what I would do. I would not, because that's what I would be paid to do, right? If I were actually an American in an American republic and I had a responsibility to tell people things that, what is his title, somebody? I don't know. He's one of the lords. What is his title? Lord King of Health. And that's the other thing I'd ask you. Do I look healthy to you? Does Fauci, I don't want to say his name. Does he look like he has a medicine cabinet at home? Then he could be honest about that too. I don't trust nobody with health that got a medicine cabinet at home. I do not. I don't. You come to my house, you open that medicine cabinet, you might find a Tic Tac, you might find a empty box or something. And then you're gonna find them things my son left up there for cleaning your teeth, the little you find those, but you're not gonna find no drugs in there. You can be honest with that too. Say, listen, I believe in Rockefeller allopathic medicine. I don't believe in health and holistic. I don't believe in prevention. I believe in poisoning my body, getting sick, and taking drugs. So you may not really want to listen to what I got to say in terms of health. But that's not what he's going to say. He's going to do Fauci.
To my opening statement and my response to one of the questions, I feel very strongly we need to do whatever we can to get the children back to school. So I think we are in lock agreement with that. The other thing that I'd like to clarify very briefly is that when things get in the press of what I supposedly said, I didn't say. I never said we can't play a certain sport. What happens is that people in the sport industry, they could either be people from Players Association, owners, people involved in the health of the players, ask me opinions regarding certain facts about the spread of the virus, what the dynamics are. I give it, and then it gets interpreted that I'm saying you can't play this sport.
It's called the shuffle.
Play that sport. I agree with you. I am completely unqualified to tell you whether you can play a sport or not.
Only truthful thing I've heard out that man's mouth. I've never heard it, and I've heard a lot though. I don't listen to him. This is the most I've actually listened to him just right now. I don't think I've ever heard 2 minutes out of his mouth before because I don't trust your TV news. I don't actually. These people aren't qualified to tell me about health because these are unhealthy people. All right, they're not my government. They are a governing corporation that needs to be slayed like a dragon. And the real American government needs to be brought back, called Republic. So I don't listen to anything that they got to say. But that was the only truthful thing I've ever heard come out of his mouth. I am not qualified. That's how he should have answered the question. Right from the very beginning, I am not qualified. Like what Lori just said. Lori said, it's safe to go outside. And I disagree with Lori on that. I do. It's my sister. I disagree with her. I think that there are people who are so scared that they manufacture their own symptoms, right? That whole, nocebo effect. As long as the media is drumming up the fear, people think that the air is trying to kill them, people will get sick. The guy who died with cancer, he was dying from cancer, and the doctor said he had 4 months to live, and he died. They said, okay, well, he died from cancer. And then they did the autopsy to find out that his tumor didn't even grow. It wasn't the cancer that killed him. It was the fact that the doctor told him he was going to die. He had what was called the nocebo effect. His body mimicked the symptoms of dying, and it actually killed him. That's why I say you got to be very careful with the things and the people that you spend time around, because we are multi-dimensional beings having a human experience. Religions agree on that, and the honest scientists are starting to agree on that. We don't even know what we are. You're not a piece of chemistry, so chemical drugs can't really help you. You're not a piece of biology. You're so much more. Do you have chemistry? Yeah. Does your body respond to chemistry? Yeah. But are you a biological, physiological creature on this plane that has the ability to be influenced by other planes and influence other planes perhaps? There's just so much we don't know. So the only truthful thing that he actually said is what came out of his mouth. And that's all he should have said is, I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. That's all he should have said. Yeah, exactly. Fear, suicide abounds, right? And so there's so many things, right? And the same thing, I'm not gonna say the guy's name because then you get people, there was a guy I told you from the very beginning, very prominent guy. He said, we cannot let the fix be worse than the problem. And unfortunately, this person who I think, he has a degree. I think he has a degree. Unfortunately, that was wiser than what pretty much every PhD and highly degreed people in Washington have said since this all began. You cannot kill more people than perhaps what this might kill. If you want to go outside, go outside. That's not my business, right? That's your business. If you die, that's on you, right? That's giving people their sovereignty back. That's called freedom. But you can't kill 1 million people in an attempt to save 9,210, 6%. It's just evil. That's evil. That's evil. We can't do
The
that.
only thing that I can do is, to the best of my ability, give you the facts and the evidence associated with what I know about this outbreak. Thank you.
Thank you. We just need
Paul.
more optimism. There
Thank you,
is
Senator
good
Paul.
news out there.
Now
We're
goes
not
Senator
getting it.
Casey.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the
He's
hearing. I
crapped
want to
up.
thank our witnesses
That
for
diaper
their
on, brother.
public service. Mr. Chairman, let me start with Dr. Hahn, then I'll move to Admiral Giroir. Dr. Hahn, I wanted to ask you about vaccines, and as your testimony indicates,
And really, the history of this, when we look back, will be of wrong prediction after wrong prediction after wrong prediction, starting with Ferguson in England. So I think we ought to have a little bit of humility in our belief that we know what's best for the economy. And as much as I respect you, Dr. Fauci, I don't think you're the end all. I don't think you're the one person that gets to make a decision. We can listen to your advice, but there are people on the other side saying there's not going to be a surge and that we can safely open the economy, and the facts will bear this out.
If that's the case.
And I think that's important because, in all likelihood, is a good way of putting it, the vast majority of these people will have immunity. Instead of saying there is no evidence, you know, the WHO kind of fed into this by saying no evidence of immunity. And in reality, there's every evidence stacking up. And in fact, a lot of the different studies have shown that it is very unlikely that you get it again in the short term. With regard to going back to school, one thing that was left out of that discussion is mortality. I mean, shouldn't we at least be discussing what the mortality of children is? This is for Dr. Fauci as well. You know, the mortality between 0 and 18 in the New York data approaches 0. It's not going to be absolutely 0, but it almost approaches 0. Between 18 and 45, the mortality in New York was 10 out of 100,000. So really, we do need to be thinking about that. We need to observe with an open mind what went on in Sweden, where the kids kept going to school. The mortality per capita in Sweden is actually less than France, less than Italy, less than Spain, less than Belgium, less than the Netherlands, about the same as Switzerland. But basically, I don't think there's anybody arguing that what happened in Sweden is an unacceptable result. I think people are intrigued by it, and we should be. I don't think any of us are certain when we do all these modelings. There have been more people wrong with modeling than right. We're opening up a lot of economies around the U.S., and I hope that people who are predicting doom and gloom and saying, oh, we can't do this, there's going to be a surge, will admit that they were wrong if there isn't a surge.
Admit that they were wrong. Humility. Does anybody, if you look online, have they gotten rid of that word? If you do a search on Google, will that come up? Can you do like humility definition? Does that still come up, or they censored that too? Imagine that. The government admitting when they're wrong. Well, governing corporation. A governing corporation admitting when they're wrong. I'd love to see that happen. That's not going to, we don't even see that in our friends. But, you know, this is where I back up and say, I don't blame the government. I don't blame the politicians. I don't blame the governing corporation. The evidence is right in front of us. We know we don't have a government. We have a governing corporation. So, anyway, let me do comments for a little bit. We'll see back. Hey, Nicole Sears. Good morning. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Elaine. Things are not what they appear to be, nor are they otherwise. Nope, they aren't, Elaine. There's so much more. And who said that? Suragama Sutra. Dang it, Jesse Meemer, you can't go live. Jesse Meemer went live. Pat, that's good to go. Pat, we need more people talking, less. We need as much as the media has, right? We need probably 20 channels going live at the same time. I try to encourage everybody I can who I come across. You need to do a live stream. You need to go online and talk to people. Why? Because all they have is the 0.01% talking to them all damn day, and they trust it too much. Sometimes you need to hear something different from Jesse Meemer. You need to hear from Lori. You need to hear from Powell. You need to hear from Matthew. You need to hear something different from Pat. Everybody should at least click the button once in their lifetime and say, hey, my name is Shatita Young, and this is what I think. That's what we need to do. Lots of laughter. Like Pelosi admitted she was wrong for not wearing a mask in public. I was set up. Robert, are you talking? Hang on. I think Robert's talking about the, what's in there? Are you talking about the salon video? I meant to show that the other day and I didn't do it. Hang on. Did y'all see the salon video? do as I say, not as I do. Did y'all see that? Y'all still trust her? Anybody still listen to her? See, I don't even listen. When people I know, when known liars got something that they got to say, I don't listen. I don't know. There was a wise person who said that. She said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Right? She didn't show you who she is. But, Robert, yeah, so that is Robert. See, let me see if I can find it real quick. So the thing with that is, people don't believe her. They don't believe her. I don't think they believe her anymore. I think people just hate the other side. I think that's what this is always all about. The political parties, right? They just hate each other. That's all it is. It's all hate-based. I think Tony says that a lot, too. It's just, Chris Lewis, he says that a lot. It's just hate. That's all it is. It's just hate-based. They literally are oh, goodness gracious. It's just hate-based. But I want to, I want to show that. I can't show that. I was going to show you because when Facebook hit me yesterday, and that wasn't Facebook, the fact checkers. Let's just call them the Bill Gates checkers. The Bill Gates checkers hit me, and I was watching Judy Miskovich videos, and I not even gonna play it. You go do your own research, because I already know what they're gonna do with the video. If I play a clip from a renowned scientist who worked on all these things, who questions the standard for-profit narrative, if I actually play it, they're gonna hit me again. So no, I'm not gonna get a hit. The good thing, as I'm looking at videos, I want to play. You know what? I didn't do it. Let me do a search for it. I'll find it, Rob. I thought I had it. I downloaded the pregnant woman arrested. Hopefully y'all watched that. Hopefully that changes you. The worst place to live right now on earth is to fight between Yemen and Australia. If you live in Yemen or Australia and you're a human being, you might want to leave. And the next is probably California. That's probably the next state that you want to get the hell out of. You don't want to get caught when the dragnet comes down. California, I think Washington might be vying for pole position, maybe with New York. I'm not sure. But these are places you don't want to live. Let me see. What is her name? Pepsi Cola. Pepsi. I'm trying to be careful with names I say, because I don't think anybody hit me yesterday. I don't think anyone watches your videos who work with the check fact checkers. Got to come up with some pig Latin names. I think it's all software. I don't think that they have time. I think that they're doing everything they can to get rid of people in every position they can. Because I guarantee you right now what's happening is you have people in the NSA who believed in the NSA not believing in the NSA. I think you have people within the CIA who believe in the CIA not believing in the CIA. I think you have people in the FBI, because these groups are all just made up of people who want to be heroes. And I suspect that they're trying to remove people from any position in power to whistleblow or question the narrative. So yeah, I don't think anybody watches videos. Very few, if any social media has them. I think it's mostly software, and it traps your video based on the words you use. It traps your posts. It does text search. For certain words, if you use, it flags them for review, or it flags them for just false information. All right, here you go, right here. Here you go, one here you go. Here she goes, she got caught.
Nancy Pelosi is under fire today after a surveillance video shows her at a hair salon, getting a blowout and not wearing a face mask.
The optics don't look good. There needs to be a whole lot of explanation.
It's terrible. Nancy Pelosi is a hypocrite.
The most powerful woman in America can be seen with wet hair inside a salon in San Francisco. The problem is, under California COVID-19 regulations, clients cannot be serviced indoors. All blowouts, dye jobs, and styling must be conducted outdoors, like this.
All right, all blowouts, blowjobs, dyings, and something else, it's got to be done outside. Got to be done outside. So Nancy got caught with the blowjob. I'm sorry, somebody caught that. It was a slip. It's got to be outside. You can't do that inside. And they can do that too anytime they want. We've already given them all the power that we got. So yeah, I can't wait for the Blowjob Act of 2020. It's coming. You know it's coming. Pretend it ain't coming. See what happens. Sometimes I think the 0.01% just does stuff to see if they can do it. See if we'll go for it. I said, yeah, well, you know, you can't do blowjobs indoor. They got to be outside, because if you do them inside, you're going to get the cuckoo virus. Got to be outside. Got to get fresh air when... I'm sorry, that's going the wrong way. Let me stop. I'm sorry, I'm going to pull it up. I know you woman fine as hell, but you got to go outside. You got to go outside. You inside, she going to give you the cuckoo virus. You need to go outside, get you a tent. All right, let me stop. Ooh, that's just wrong. Ooh, that's wrong. Hey, listen, you know, shut down and do crazy things to him, man. You know, okay, well, the government passed that law. Hey, baby, you got to go outside. All right, that's wrong. Let me stop.
The owner of the salon, Emily Kia, says to get by during the pandemic, she rents out chairs in her salon to several independent stylists. On Sunday night, one of those stylists texted her to say that Nancy Pelosi was coming in for a blowout. After the appointment was over, she checked the security footage and was not happy with what she saw. It was a slap in the face that she went in, you know, that she feels that she can just go and get her stuff done while no one else can go in, and I can't work, Kia tells Fox News. It is just disturbing.
It's not disturbing. It is not disturbing. I'm not disturbed. I'm a little disturbed because thinking about Nancy Pelosi and the other word that we was just talking about. I'm a little disgusted at the point. I'm feeling like I just ate some okra. No, it's not disturbing. What's disturbing about it? It's only disturbing if you haven't been paying attention. It's only disturbing if you don't read. It's only disturbing if you trust the TV. It's only disturbing if you believe them when they tell you that this is a democracy and we're on your side. We're fighting for your jobs. We're all employed. None of you are. And we're going to shut you down again. All right? It's not disturbing. Kings and lords have been doing this from the very beginning. Feudalism never stopped. We just became so stupid that we cheer for it. We're not secretly figuring out how to dethrone the king and the lords behind their backs. We're clapping and cheering for them. So of course, Nancy wasn't wrong. You know what? I changed my position. I have changed my position because that's what I do all the time, because I sit here and I think about things. Nancy wasn't wrong. I'm on Nancy's side. You know what? I am on Nancy's side. You know why? Because if y'all gave me the power, ain't no way I'm gonna get out to get my hair done outside with y'all. No, hell no. You slaves and monkeys. Y'all done gave me the power. How long she been in office? 400 years? She been in office for 400 years and people still praising. This woman ain't done nothing about Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter and White Lives Matter. She ain't done nothing about the wars, the poverty, the number one business in the United States, a corporation of America, whatever the hell we are, pedophilia, foster careism. They ain't done nothing about that. Nothing. That's the number one business. That's why it boggles my mind with my Trump friends and Q friends are like, yeah, we're going after pedophiles. Like, yeah, you know that's our number one business, right? Like, you do get that. You can read, you can go out there, look at the budget expenditures. That's the number one. That's why I was talking to the sister yesterday about foster care. You know, the only difference, Epstein Island, he was trying to run his own foster care business. He just didn't get consent. You know, I'm on Pelosi's side because they got consent. They all got consent for stealing all the children that they do. We vote. I've been voting all my entire life. I've been voting for these criminals. So how is it that she's wrong and I'm right? No, she's right. She's right. She's the queen. You can steal children. You can ban blowjobs indoors. You can make people wear face diapers. You can blow up nations and steal their resources and bring it home. It's not criminal when y'all steal from other nations, steal entire continents of people. But if Epstein steals 100 people, he's the bad guy, which is my thing. You really want to go after the big dog, then you need to go after the big dog. Stop playing with the little ones. We got Epstein, Ghislaine, blah, 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 blah. Go after the big dog. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I was listening to a brother talk this morning about snakes, how you catch a snake, how you catch a viper. Well, you better be smart. You better have a strategy. Better not act on emotions. You better not be reactionary. Something happened, you run out the street, start protesting. You protest a snake and you grab it in the middle, see what happened to you. Don't act. I see a snake. You know, listen. What is the most poisonous snake in the world? Is the it's not the black mamba, it's something else. But we'll say for a second, it's the inland something. I forgot the name. Let's say the black mamba for right now. You trying to catch a black mamba? You trying to catch a elusive predator? Do you see it like move in the bush like, oh, I know the black mamba in there? Let's say you out going for a hike with your friends, like Susan and some of these people out there collecting wild things in the jungle. And it's like, oh, something moving in the bush. I think it's the black mamba. Let's catch it. Let's protest the black mamba. Do you just jump in the bush and start grabbing at anything that you can find? Or do you wait and say, no, we need to know where the head is at first. We need to know where the head is at. Grab it by the head. You grab a snake by the head, especially if it's a viper. Or you grab it by the tail. You have a strategy. You don't just start to grab it anywhere, protesting anything. You don't even know what's going on. You don't even know what the head of the snake is. So why are you out there protesting white people? Why are you out there protesting Black Lives Matter? Everybody out there everybody's upset. Emotions. How is that any different than Fauci? Acting on ignorance, speaking on ignorance. You don't do anything till you know where the head of the snake is at. You don't do anything till you know where the data is at. And it's funny to me how that all just wrapped right back around to us, which is why every problem is in our own mirrors. We literally make our own problems and consent to the people giving us more artificial problems. All right. Now I'm on Nacies' side on this one. No, because she is the queen. She needs to walk right past us.
President Trump wasted no time reacting to the video, tweeting, "Crazy Nancy Pelosi is being decimated for having a beauty parlor open while all others are closed, for not wearing a mask, despite constantly lecturing everyone else." The timestamp on the video says 3:08 p.m. Less than 3 hours later, she appeared on MSNBC with perfectly coiffed hair. Late today, an annoyed Pelosi spoke to reporters.
I take responsibility for trusting the word of a neighborhood salon that I've been to over the years many times, and that when they said, well, we're able to accommodate people one person at a time, and that we can set up that time, I trusted that. As it turns out, it wasn't set up, so I take responsibility for falling for a setup. Now, I just had my hair washed. I don't wear a mask when I'm washing my hair. Do you wear a mask when you're washing your hair?
Meanwhile, President Trump continues to denounce rumors that he suffered a mini stroke last year when he made an unscheduled visit to Walter Reed Medical Center.
President Trump is pushing back on.
That's all I can do. I don't really have a big cue for like listening to these people. Actually, guy, brother, not, you know what? I'm subscribed to this channel. I don't know who he is. I want him to kind of wrap up a few things because he's talking real information. I want him to kind of wrap a few things up. I remember in the end he said something deep. I don't remember.
Article 2 of the Constitution states, Clause 1, executive power. The executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the vice president, chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. Method of choosing electors, Clause 2. Each state shall appoint in such a manner as...
Just for the record, if you don't know what he's doing, it's called reading the law. Right? This is what you do. Before you vote for legislators, you actually have to read the law. And when you're done voting for them, you want to read what they legislated, the law. Why? Because that will show you what they do. Don't trust what anybody says, look at what they do.
As the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress. But no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. Clause 3, the electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for 2 persons, and the vote shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the president. If such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, but in choosing the president, the vote shall be taken by states. The representation from each state having 1 vote, a quorum of this purpose shall consist of a member or members from 2/3 of the states, and a majority of all states shall be necessary to a choice. In every case, after the choice of the president, the person having the greatest number of votes of the electors shall be the vice president. But if there should remain two or more who have equal votes, the Senate shall choose from them by ballot ballot the vice president. So you notice there is no mention of the people in this election for president, because the people do not elect president. The people only hold a legal status of mere voters, fooled into empowering the appointment electors with their votes, granting consent to an electoral college, literally giving away the rights and individual powers as a powerless body politic. Many men with only one voice, e pluribus unum, out of many one. That's their motto. The people vote for representatives, never realizing the representative then indirectly appoint the electors that elect the president. Of course, the people also don't comprehend that the president is their virtual king under military rule, as established by the War Powers Act and Emergency Declaration, as we will discuss herein. So the electors are the true electors of the president, not the voters, the people. No different than any other corporation and its board of directors, which is the legislature. For customers of Walmart, do not elect its board or its president any more than U.S. voters do. But the illusion is maintained every 4 years through the media and the print, and the cost of many billions of dollars to keep the illusion alive, all based on the ridiculous and heavily media-promoted fallacy that the people vote and elect a president. And they believe it. And going through life knowing this information and seeing it for yourself is, it can be very lonely at times. And this one's going to be, I think a civil war's coming, man, me personally. I think white people are going to get it, because we're the bad people. I don't know. Or conservatives or whatever. I see people driving around their trucks, the big Trump flags flying, and it's all it doesn't matter. It's like a pro wrestling. You know, the game is rigged. Anyway, you can actually take your name off the voting roll, which I recommend people do, because it doesn't matter. Just go to your Secretary of State website and go to the voting, where it says voting, and you can take your name off the voting rolls. Go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. Thanks.
Real solutions. All right. I think he just tried it right there. And that was the end of it right there. So real solutions. I like solutions. I don't like solutions. I don't like fake solutions. I like real solutions. And the solution is we need to remove our consent in any way we can. And no, I don't agree with his white people in trouble part. I don't agree with that. I know that. Now, you know what? Let me be clear. I think most white people in trouble. Okay? I think most black people in trouble. But in general, you don't really, they got guns, man. Come on. In my state, maybe in your state, not. Maybe in your state, they out there got that whole, they fighting for you or something, G.I. Joe. But in my state, oh no, they got militia over here. These people, they gonna be okay. They gonna be okay. Me, I'm not interested in that struggle. Like, to me, that's stupid. That's ignorant. It's complete ignorance. If they ever get some sort of a race war going up, first of all, I already told you, I'm just gonna watch. Because I'm not in your little races. I don't do subhuman. I'm not a monkey, and only 98%. Right? Only 98%. I'm not a monkey. I am not judged nor qualified by my fur. I really don't care about your fur or anybody else's fur. It's stupid. It only matters for solar radiation. So if you are silly, stupid, and ignorant enough to get out there and fuss with people because of solar radiation, the amount of pigmentation in their skin, and the vitamin D3 that they're getting from the sun, you better be a dermatologist, because you ain't making no damn sense. When y'all get that thing going, if y'all do, I'm going to sit right in my house. I'm going to watch all of y'all. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch it. They get that race ride going. I'll be like, yeah, did you say the white people? See, I did. They went over that way. Yep, go on, get them. They come out there. Did you say that? Antifa around here, no black people. Yeah, they went down all that. I'm not in it. I'll film it, but I ain't in it. My name is Bennett. I mean, I have no dog in that fight. I have no stock in that ignorance. Y'all get out there and y'all want to fuss with the 1%, the 0.01%, 0.01%. Y'all want to fuss with them, then you're saying something to me. You know, any civil anything that ends in any sort of violent interactions, it bet to be in my country, it better be Americans versus United States Incorporatedkins. Now that's the fight. That's something. That's something. Short of that, you wasting everybody's time. Everybody's time. And even with that, with the Republic, we have to work on decentralization. If we ever get the Republic back, these politicians actually stand up and say, you know what, I'm a part of a criminal organization called the United States Incorporated. We're gonna what do they call it when they delete a law? We're going to rescind the act, the Washington, D.C. Act of 1871, and we're going to give you your republic back. We're going to give you say back, and we're going to bring you direct democracy. We're going to let you vote for yourself. We're going to like real solutions. They start doing that, man, you might be getting somewhere. Might be getting somewhere, but until then, wasting everybody's time. I ain't got no time for it. Yeah, see, Lori, that is kind of the thing, isn't it? Lori with her facts. You're so pesky with your little facts, man. I don't even know why you even do that. She said that she said, what kind of person looks at their daughter and is like, says, she's sexy. If I were her age, I'd date her. Come on. You know what, Lori, you don't even have to say it anymore. I don't know who you're talking to. To me, I think children have a right to be free. They also got a right to not be enslaved. They got a right to be not taken from their parents. They got many rights. They got their own little southern creatures. We're not better than them. We just got here first. Okay? If you have a parent who's telling you that you are sexy, please lock the bathroom door when you take showers. Lock the bathroom door. Something ain't right there. Something ain't right there. I'm not gonna say something is wrong there. I will say something ain't right there. Something in the Kool-Aid is just. But Lori, it is what it is, right? People hate each other, right? That's the whole left-right paradigm. What is that? Urban Farmer, Curtis Stone, Morning Coffee with Curtis. Ooh, I'm gonna have to watch that later. All right. Ooh, oh, you and Pat, y'all going back and forth? All right, well, I'm not gonna step in that. I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all gotta do. Get it on. Yes, I'm gonna do comments. I'm gonna get out of here. Pelosi is going down. That salon video was the last effing straw. I don't know, Mary Lynn. Mary Lynn, do not put anything past the Americans. Don't ever do that. Do not ever underestimate them. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take you to my post this morning. I've looked at some of the responses because you can't underestimate people. Do not whatsoever. Do not underestimate people. Do not underestimate the ignorance of people or the power of the media. Don't do it. Because no one's voting for Nancy because they love Nancy. They vote for Nancy because they're convinced the other side hates them. And so they want to hate them more back. Where is that post at? Here you go. Over the last 7 months. Here we go. You know what? This thing doesn't work, does it? Yeah, I got to make some updates. But I can show you in a jacked up way. Like that. It's kind of jacked up, but we'll work with it. I can only start moving this up to this. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. There we go. That might work. Ooh, there you go. Ooh, see, over the last 7 months, some people are waking up, y'all. Some people are waking up. Some people are starting to get it. It's not the majority, but there are more people awake today than what have ever been since I've ever been around this part. Since I've ever been around ignorant land. I run from politics because it's just ignorance. And so over the last 7 months, I asked people, has anything drastically changed in your belief system? Have you learned anything new? Or is this pretty much along the lines of what you already knew and read? Of course, Brother Powell was just like right off the back, nope. But unfortunately not. Not at all. Nothing new. I knew all about this. Sister Kristen said, nope. Guess I didn't expect a fake pandemic. And I agree with her. I agree with her on that. But as for the rest of it, pretty much what I've expected for the last 10 years. And she's right on that. I have to agree. I didn't expect a virus. I expected something else. I was thinking of the stage alien invasion, the bankers to pull something. I expected something completely different. I didn't think that they would get away with this, but they did. They got away with it. And if they continue to get away with it, it's completely up to us. The other Christian said, I have absolute clarity now that we need to get the F out of California. Yes, you do, sister. You need to pack up Tricky, get the bag, get the kids, and move out the hell out of Beverly. Don't go to Beverly. You got to get the hell out. California is going to be that's just a little Australia. That's all it is. They're going to be the first ones. Grabbing pregnant people, dragging them out their house. And that actually hit the news here, too. That hit the news here, dragging that pregnant person out of her house. And the damn shame is she actually did an interview afterwards. She's like, no, I'm not going to do nothing because I'm scared. And she should be. She's a mother. She's a pregnant mother. She shouldn't have to worry about dragoons and Gestapo going up to her door or contact tracers showing up to drag her out the house. You didn't drag one person out the house, you idiot. You dragged two, a baby with her. She said, no, I'm scared. I'm not doing this. Hell no. Hell no, I'm not doing no protest. And she should be. She's a mother. She's not speaking for herself. She's not sacrificing herself. That's the position of people who don't have babies in this stuff. It's a damn shame if you think about it that a pregnant woman is the one that they went after. But she even said it too in the interview. We could watch that if you want. It was good. She just basically said, yeah, well, this is a fear tactic. And she said, oh, it worked. It worked. Hell no, I'm not standing up. I didn't know I couldn't do that. I didn't know that I had free speech. I didn't know that I could say, hey, let's have a protest against the shutdown. And I didn't know that was a crime. Right? Fear tactic, right? It's like a gang. It's like gang violence, you know, showing the power of your gang. If you can get the smallest guy to beat up the biggest guy in their gang because he knows a little kung fu, you're going to scare the hell out of everybody in that gang. You're going to have that respect because they're not going to know what to respect. And so usually it's like why they killed JFK. Why they killed JFK and they didn't kill somebody in Congress? Why they killed JFK and not somebody in the Senate? Why they killed JFK instead of just dropping a bomb on LA? Why would the 0.01% kill JFK? Because it was a statement to every single president, which is why I don't get into the whole presidential thing. It was a statement to every single president that, and everybody in the United States and probably everybody in the world. We have enough power. We can take anybody out at any time we choose to, for any reason we want to. We own this world. And that was a very clear statement to every single politician, prime minister around the world. If you can get the most powerful country in the world and known in the public realm, and you can kill their leader, you can get anybody. That's why I say Trump would be a fool to stand up. He'd be stupid. He'd be completely ignorant to do half the stuff that the people voted for him to do. If you have not watched, if you don't know what I'm talking about, and you have not watched Everything is a Rich Man's Trick, somebody post a link for these people. That's what you need to watch. Please do not discuss anything with anybody about global power or anything until you watch Everything is a Rich Man's Trick. That will explain to you how the world actually works. Right? Yeah, and Don said it reinforces his thinking. Yeah, reinforces his thinking. And I asked him, well, what would you recommend for the people? I'm not even sure that he mentioned anything. And it's funny because I don't know Don. And I don't even know what he replied. I just clicked on it. Well, I guess you couldn't see it. I haven't even read it yet, but what do you see? Hard to say. Because I asked him, well, what would you recommend folks to look at? He said, hard to say. There's so much. I started my journey down the rabbit hole back in the 80s. See, in the 80s, you know what, Don? If you're watching in the 80s, I was like playing video games. And I couldn't wait to grow up to be a good colonizer. In the 80s with the Iran-Contra, which is a good one, right? Iran-Contra is when we learned that we were actually supplying weapons to both sides, right? We were the cause of all of that, and we kept them fighting each other. We didn't want the war to end because we wanted all the oil. So being crony, criminal, war criminal, genocide-ish, we armed both sides. And one side would start to end, we'd arm the other side. Of course, the assassination of JFK, we just talked about that. RFK also, Martin Luther King, what's he talking about? JFK, we don't know who killed him. We don't know who was involved, but we know it was an inside job. RFK, we don't know who killed him. We know it was an inside job. Assuming he's not. Some people on the right say he's not. They said he's going to be the running mate of Trump. And I'm like, yeah, no, they're sending a message. Martin Luther King, once again, but the civil rights movement was involved with that. You got the guy who was on stage who slipped, got that Alzheimer's slipping in at the late age and said, yeah, when they had to shoot King, I had to get out the way. See, this is a brother that reads. This is why I keep friends like this. Right? Because he's reminding me of stuff. Malcolm X, once again, while he was out there, Black Power, fight whitey. When he was out there saying the stuff that the tops of the Black Lives Matter says right now, the system loved him. The system loved him, and that's why they got that $100 million. And you click on that link, and it takes you over to Jive and Bowden site. Like, imagine that. He's the man who wrote the crime bill. You click on that, you click on their link, and it takes you to his website. He's the one that made Black Lives Not Matter in a major way in America. This shows you that nothing is what you think, which is what Elaine posted a minute ago. Malcolm X. As long as he's out there fighting racism with racism, they love him. The system loves him. But the moment he said no, he left the Nation of Islam, said we need to work with white people. They killed him. Everybody, and that was the Nation of Islam, right? So, I mean, everybody, all the sides are corrupt and dirty, and they all love each other. Like I said, the top of the Klan and the top of Black Lives Matter, they love each other. They love each other. They give each other jobs. They give each other retirements. They're going to make sure each other can write many books and retire very, very well in very gated communities that none of the people who keep them in power can ever get into. Assuming we all don't die. John Lennon's another one. Sonny Bono. I don't know who Jim Fricante is. William Cooper. And in this list of people silenced for just telling the truth. Right? When you have a system that murders people who tell you the truth, you don't vote for that. You don't vote for that. And you don't not vote for that. You unregister to vote for that, right? You don't consent to people who killed those. And who was it? Who was that who said, I think it was a comedian. He said, you don't ever find it odd anytime people say, go out there and love each other, take care of each other, and get together. The system kills them. Like, as long as you out there, you pick a team and fight in ignorance, the system loves you. Tribalism. But the minute you get out there and you start saying, hey, love everybody, work together, let's build a better world. Let's build Earth 2, the system kills them. That's why I'm here talking about Earth 2. Why? Because I don't care anymore. I finally realized what is at stake. I'm a father. My kids are grown. I got to do everything I can for them kids, right? I got to do everything I can for your kids. So the last damn thing I'm going to do is sit back here and be ignorant like I have been in most of my life. I'm going to listen to people like Don McDonald because he obviously knows what the hell he's talking about. He's been looking into this a long time. And that's what you need to do is go attach to people who've been looking at for. He's got names I forgot about. William Cooper, I named rings a bell. And I know that I read something about him. It was a long time ago. An endless list of people silenced for just telling the truth. Waco, which of course we know was some bullshit, people who just wanted to live by themselves. Now, the leader was probably up to something stupid like they usually always are, but you never know who's MK Ultra and who the system puts in place to do these things and the false flag. OKC bombing, which is another same one. It doesn't make any damn sense. They obviously the fertilizer bomb and the way the building dropped. Like, just go back and look. 9/11. These things you can talk about, and I don't even want to go through the list because if I go through the list and tell you what I know, I'll eventually hit one that will be censored and blocked, right? Why? Because you're not allowed to talk about these things. You can talk about the truth on your own time, with your own oxygen, but you're not going to talk about that truth on these platforms. Anybody made that known? 9/11, another one. It was not an outside job. The Gulf of Tonkin, that's another one. Right? Woodrow Wilson, I don't even know about the Federal Reserve. That's important. If you haven't read the Federal Reserve Act, 1913 and 1933, you need to read it because then you'll understand. The purse decides. And the Federal Reserve Act is only a backup plan, right? Who controls the purse? That's just another section of America that's being controlled. The Act of 1871 made it a corporation. We are literally owned, and somebody internationally owns the purse. You own the money in the house. You decide everything in the house. It doesn't matter what the people want. There ain't nobody gonna fight that. There's no Trump fighting. There's no Obama fighting. There ain't gonna be no Jive and Bowden fighting that. The people aren't that stupid. They killed JFK. They literally killed it. Watch the video. You know what got me? I want to say what the most important moment of everything is a dead man, everything is a rich man's trick. But what got me was watching the video. And all the Secret Service men are supposed to run with the car. They all stepped back. Did y'all see that? The part where everybody, the beginning, just before he got shot, they were all supposed to run with the car, the Secret Service, and they all were told to stand back. Woo. Let me see if I got a picture of that. You don't know the level of corruption that exists. You don't know where the head of the black mamba is. You don't act until you know where it is. That was the part that got me. Is everybody is corrupt? Hang on. Let me see if I can do this. You can find a lot of this now. I'm sure they'll eventually just scrub it and delete it because now people are talking about it again. Secret Service agent opened up about Kennedy assassination. I don't know. That's on the Iowa News. I'm not sure how truthfully that's going to be. Was John F. Kennedy the accidental victim? Blah, 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 blah. No, I want to get. Well, here's the picture right here. This is ABC News. This is not being true. This is what I'm saying. I don't waste my time with places I know that aren't going to tell me.
John F. Kennedy became the nation's president 50 years ago this week. And now, 5 decades later, his Secret Service agents are breaking their silence about Kennedy's assassination. They told our Carson Chambers about their regrets and the powerful guilt in their lives.
All right, let's watch this real quick. I haven't seen this before, and this was 2011, so I don't know what they've said since.
Everyone can pinpoint a moment in life we wish we could change, details we often dwell on.
How do you watch the news? You watch the news by reading between the lines. The only truthful thing that will come out on any news station is going to be in between the lines, in between the cracks. Look at their face, look at what they're saying and they're not saying. Now let's see what they got to say. That's how you watch the news. If you believe what's just being said, you're a fool.
These 3 United States Secret Service agents have this in common, and their regrets start in Tampa in November of 1963.
It was sunny outside. We had 28 miles of motorcade. We had an appearance at Lopez Field and also the National Guard Armory.
Agent Gerald Blaine was working the president's detail that day.
And he tapped the agent in charge on the shoulder and said, "Would you have the Ivy League charlatans drop back to the follow-up car?" And the president said essentially, "Look, my political style is to be with the people."
The president's orders, given along Kennedy Boulevard, set the stage, they say, for the tragedy that unfolded 100 yards after a slow turn onto Elm Street in Dallas.
That was a slow turn where they told the Secret Service agents not to walk next to the car to make sure they had a clean shot.
Top off, because the weather conditions were such that it was a beautiful day.
Agent Clint Hill's Secret Service detail was to protect Mrs. Kennedy. His regrets are he couldn't do more.
And I heard an explosive noise from the right rear. What I saw was the president grab at his throat, so I jumped off the follow-up car, ran toward the presidential vehicle. The driver accelerated, and the car started to move forward, causing me to slip. I regained my foothold, but before I did, a third shot rang out.
Hill has spent nearly 50 years dissecting those 6 seconds.
Well, I was the only one in a position to do anything. If I'd have been maybe a second and a half faster, quicker, I'd have been there in time.
Agent Zobrel was in Tampa, but not in Dallas, and still shoulders guilt.
I thought if I had been there, maybe history would have been a little different.
And that was the terrible thing. When he was assassinated, we all had a very guilty feeling about it, felt that we had failed.
These 3 Secret Service agents still dwell on these details, the kind that changed them and history.
It never gets any easier.
In Tampa, I'm Carson.
Okay. I didn't get much from that, but, JFK was another one, right? The fact that you can't say anything that's truthful. You can let things slip. You can speak around things. I didn't pick anything up from that they spoke around, other than the fact that if I were there, I could have made a difference. America has a lot of patriots, and that's the problem. I think that people who are truly believing in the oaths that they take are starting to realize that this is all bullshit. This brother nailed it. So let me see. Gulf of Tonkin, Federal Reserve. All to take us where we are right now. I have some success along the way, getting folks to start doing their own digging and research. Hang in there with folks like you is both rewarding and enriching. It is. Thank you, Brother Don. It absolutely is. And having people like that who back me up, like that's the only reason why I do it. I do it for kids because they got to have a better future, but I do it because I'm surrounded by adults. Like I said yesterday, I'm surrounded by people. I don't know how this happened, but people who are interested more in the truth than being right or seeming right. You know, nobody's trying, well, you got the friends that try to get you to go along with them, but most people who hang around these parts, they just want to know what's true so they can do the right thing. They you know, most of us realize we've been ignorant our whole life. So that's the only reason why I do it, because I have other people who remind me of all the different events. You know, like the USS Liberty, that's one you really can't even talk about much. You want to really know how your world works, just watch the USS Liberty. That's part of why they killed JFK, I think. And that was what one of the sailors said. He said, why was LBJ so weak? Well, he was behind Kennedy. He just literally saw people who are unknown just blow his head off in front of him. The very next president who comes behind that, let alone the next couple, all the next presidents. Nobody's going to defy that. That's why LBJ was the president. He said he was just basically a sellout. He was the one who called back the response to the USS Liberty. If you don't know what that is, look it up. He was the one who said, nope, you're not going to go help your brothers in arms. You're going to come right back and let them get blown up. He didn't say it that way, but they have the tape. He said, no, I think he said something to the effect of, I'm not going to risk a interaction or a conflict with an ally for a few sailors. He was scared to death is the way the guy from the USS Liberty put it. Anyway, let me get down and get out of here. Good morning, Christ. Good morning, Lori. Y'all having discussion. Y'all going back and forth. I'm gonna stay away from that. The two things you don't ever get in between. You don't ever get in between two pit bulls fighting and two women fighting. Don't ever do that. You ain't gonna make it. They I don't know if they're fighting. I'm just not gonna get in between it. I did that before. You get scratched up, kicked, screamed, you don't really want that. Let me see. Nope, I knew it was coming. Let me read the rest of these real quick. Nope, Katie said she knew it was coming. Yep, and I did as well. I knew something was coming. I didn't know it was that. I listened to bankers and financial analysts who said we have a fiat currency and it needs to be collapsed. We need a global event to get away with revaluating all the world's currency and robbing everybody's retirement. So I knew something was coming. I just didn't know what. And they're laughing because I said I'm not gonna get in between women fighting. That's what the laughs are for. The icons are delayed. I don't know if y'all picked up on that. So I know what y'all laughing at. Hell no, I ain't that stupid. Nope. I get in between America fighting Russia. I'll get in between. Sometimes I might get in between black people fighting white people. I get in between the left and the right all damn day. All day I get in between them. I will never get in between two women. Nope. They've been here on patriarchal planet too long. They got something to show. They have something to show. We said it the other day. Don't make me say it again. There's no fury like a woman scorned. You don't know how scorned they are between each other. Don't even get it. Just watch. You might learn something. Just watch. You might learn how to do a throat punch. You might have to learn where to kick somebody. No, I'll never get in between that. Anyway, Laura Rooney said, nope, nothing at all. Tracy World said, nope, just reinforces what I already knew. See, these are the people that you need to follow. These are the people who you need to be making friends with. These are the people who saw what was coming. Nope, I just reinforced what I already knew. Hegelian dialectic works like a charm, right? Problem, reaction, solution, right? And that's why November 1st, they said they already got the vaccine for everybody. They haven't even isolated the virus. They haven't even isolated the illness. They already got your vaccine. Ready to go, ready to go. Literally, ready to go. I'm gonna say that sticker I got for the back of my car. It says zombie response team. Y'all get that shot, I might need it. It has strengthened my beliefs, yet diluted my faith. Most people, diluted my faith, people to be smart and think critically. Yeah, right, and that's true, Lakash. It's really shown, it's shown who I want on my zombie response team. I need critical thinkers. I need people who can think on their feet, people who can see what's coming, not people who just trust the news. Tasha Diamond, it reaffirmed hers. Oh, that's right, I had to respond to Quim this morning. He said, yes, humans are weak, but they just don't know. Right. And in my response to that is, yeah, humans are weak, but only weak from an information perspective, right? Humans aren't weak. They're made weak. They're given bad information. They're uninformed. They're ignorant. They're not stupid. And that ignorance makes them weak, right? Humans are strong. They're powerful. Humans are gods. We say it every day. Humans are God and goddesses. And don't ever be between no goddesses, fire. Lightning bolts and fire. Yeah, don't ever do that. Humans are powerful, right? And this is why they go to whatever lengths they can to prevent you from knowing what's true. They will censor, they will delete, they will keep free energy from you, they will keep you a slave, they will make you stay in your house, they'll put your face diapers on you, they'll cancel your events, they'll destroy your economy, they'll take all your jobs, and they will starve you to death, and they will cause hundreds of thousands of suicides to keep you from knowing what's true. Because I think they're scared of you. That's what I think. I think they're scared to death of you. I think they're scared to death of you being informed. They're not scared of you being ignorant. They're scared of you being informed. And I think if people start unregistering to vote by the millions, I think it would send a very clear message that we don't believe in you anymore. And the only thing that the system fears is your belief in the system. All right. I guess I didn't realize how many people in my immediate sphere are not as wake as humanity needs to be. I live in California. It's pretty oppressive here. Some people are leaving. I chose to stay and build something. This is where our food comes from, and we all need to get behind that. I agree with that. I agree, get behind that, Amanda. But I'd say everybody's got to make their own decisions, right? You know, pregnant women, it's not theirs to stand up and do things that unpregnant men and women should be doing, right? So there are some people who have to leave. Everybody's got to make their own solutions, their own decisions. You're a god. You can decide for yourself, but utilize critical thought. Don't let the television tell you what to do. Allison's going to leave. All right, Allison, you got to go. Then that's the right decision. Everybody's got to make their own decision. You need to be the adult. You need to be the god of your path. Right? You need to go along your own path, and everybody has to decide. Allison, I'm kind of with you. I'm not sure. I'm still waiting to see how things are going to play out in this state. I'd like to be here for the last stand if it comes down to that. I'd like to be in the state with the most freedom, the state with the most empowerment of the human race, of respecting sovereignty. I kind of think that might be South Dakota. If you're in Britain, you might want to think about the same thing. Australia. I understand not all of Australia is jacked up, but it's different portions of it. But you might want to be in the last place that the hammer comes down, right? And so for me, my line in the sand is I'm not doing another lockdown. I have to be honest with you, I didn't really do this one. I don't trust your kings and lords, and plus I didn't listen to any of the lockdown stuff. Nothing really for me has changed. I really stay away from people for the most part. But my line in the sand is you injecting me with something. That's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's not because it works or doesn't work. Allison, my stance on that, I've said it a few times. It's because you think you can. It doesn't really matter. I'd rather die. I'd rather die than you force something on me because you think you can. You're never gonna force anything on me that you think you can. Death is preferable. It's happy. It would be a joyous one. I would play Prince Purple Rain the whole way out. But ain't no damn way you're injecting anything in me because you think that you can. That's never going to happen. So I'll shift to a state that if this one loses their damn mind and starts talking about forced medication, then I'm leaving. Because anything forced in medication, that's just called being a mangler. Popularly, Dr. Mangler. And so that might be Dakota. South Dakota didn't shut down. I think it's cold out there. Isn't it cold out there? And got them buffaloes and bison and stuff. Yeah, I don't even like that, but I'm a tropical people. I don't do cold, but that's what I got to do. If I got to do Vermont, I'll do Vermont, but or South Dakota, or any state that's got more freedom. That's probably going to be the last one to let Bill Gates and Fauci and these criminals and the global elite come in and poison everybody. I'll be one of the last ones. So I'm not a stayer. I'm not a stayer and builder. I am a get the hell out of Dodger and remove my consenter and fighter. That's just who I am. All right, Christine had dropped the comment. This is the question of if you learned anything in the past 7 months. Not really, just confirmation from what we were all saying all along. All right, that's good to go. That's how you know I think you're in the right place. Is if things are happening and it's obvious that somebody in that group is a prophet or that information is prophetic or all makes sense, that's where you want to be. That's going to give you the right information you need to make a good decision. If you're listening to politicians or news or any of that nonsense or people who are just wrong, like Fauci, just wrong on everything, you're going to get a lot of people around you killed and yourself too. Be around people who predicted the future. Those are people who predicted today and who have predicted the past. Those are the people who will most oddly help you to make good decisions for you and your children in the future. Kristen said, I got a lot of Christians around here. Kristen Patrick said, it's so weird. Like 6 months ago, my husband and I were just kind of laughing at all the Trump signs and wondered how people could be so proud to vote for him. Now I'm going to vote straight Republican. Now I'm going to vote straight Republican. Just trying to stave off this socialist agenda as long as we can. But no, the first day I remember hearing about how crazy this virus is, I said the government is behind it. They're trying to kill us. Kristen, I love her to death. Yeah, you're right on that one. First day, I wasn't that strong. I wish I were that strong, Kristen. The first day, I was a little concerned. I knew that. I said, you know what? They probably behind it, but I'm not sure. Now I'm sure, but I won't say, because when you say it, then you hit that flag. We used to drive around looking at the Trump signs. I had a guy in the neighborhood. Well, there were two signs that were most important. The biggest one was like 12 feet, 12 feet wide. And the other one, my son, he told me about, he said, Dad, it lights up at night. Somebody put up a sign that's supposed to be 20 feet in the air and it lights up all night to vote for Trump. Somebody called out. Nobody in Indiana. Stop that. All right, I'll read a couple more and get out of here. Jennifer said the last 7 months reinforced her beliefs. Melinda Gladstone said reinforce that now. More than even we cannot lead by Democrats. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I get it. See, people are leaning towards the Republicans. Like, I get it, Melinda and everybody else who's like kind of leaning Republican because the Democrats have lost their damn mind. I get that. But the only reason the Democrats have lost their damn mind is because they're the underdog, right? The underdog has to be scrappy. The underdog has to fight. The underdog has to bite, chew, rip, tear, and blindly pick, allies to fight, right? We saw it from the Republicans when the Democrats were in power, right? I mean, they picked Donald Trump. And before him, it was Jesse Ventura. Before him, wasn't Christie on the list? Christie and the guy who, in New York, these insane people were on the list. So the answer to me is not the identity. The answer is, they're all desperate when they're in that position, right? But it's just a game of good cop, bad cop. They're all still staff of United States Incorporated, and the United States Incorporated. And I'm not a United States Incorporatian. I'm an American, so I have no interest in voting for two political parties who sold us out to the same industries. I think they just play good cop, bad cop. But I get what people are saying. And it does look like the Democrats have lost their damn mind. It does. But the Republicans had lost their damn mind 8 years ago, another 4 years, and we're still here. Jack, do you see what I'm saying? I mean, tell me if that doesn't make any sense to you. I think it's time that we step back and we stop. Like, I was talking to someone for a long time, maybe 2 days ago. And I was just saying, all I can do is when somebody hits me with the far left, I hit them with moderate right. And if somebody hits me with the far right, I hit them with a moderate left. And I try to explain that we all gonna die. We all gonna die unless we grow up. It's nature's job to literally remove us from this planet that's so beautiful if we don't grow up and create an Earth too. I think there are enough moderates in both sides. In my country, this is what I see in my country. I think there are enough moderates on both sides who are just like, yeah, on the right, and they're like, the far right didn't lost their damn mind. And on the left, like, yeah, the far left, I had no idea what the hell was in y'all salad this morning. If somehow we can bring those together and start people pushing in a sentient human sovereignty, free to people direction, empower people more than corporations that run everything, we can do something. But I'm not a jump on either side. I don't do sides anymore. Nope, they are. Brother Donnie said, nope, they are who we thought they are. Yes, they are. They're exactly who we thought they are. They're corporations. They all work for industries. It's corporate rule. I thought people were more clever, got proven wrong. Yep, Juliana, I agree with you. I gave people a little more credit. But it's not, I guess, I won't say I don't think people were more clever. I guess it is clever. I guess you're right. It's clever being street smart. I think I underestimated the power of the media. Media I think I underestimated the power of put things on television that people would believe. What's this, Elaine? There seems to be no intelligent life anyway. Nope, sure enough not. Cooper said nope. Green in most ways, hang on, let me move that down a little bit. I'm just gonna read a couple more and we'll get out of here. In most ways, no. I've been on a fierce path of energy and financial independence and growing my own food and making my own medicine, educating my own children for 30 years. I thought this would happen sooner. I have definitely been educating myself and more deeply. I guess I didn't realize how vulnerable people I know and love are brainwashed. Oh, goodness gracious. Everybody's hitting that. And hopeless dependency. I've also been pleasantly surprised to learn who is not. In general, current events have definitely been inspiring me to up my game. Go on, Kareem. And this is where I'm at. I got to like these posts. People are on it. There's a lot of common sense here. The good thing about this stuff here is it's public and people can read it. That's why I make all the posts public. It's an alternative to what they're seeing on that damn television. Nope, lots of laughter, only confirmed. See, there's a lot of people who get it. So they go Pat right there. I didn't think American in general were as stupid, cowardly, and sheepish as they evidently are. They are truly #sheeple. Pat don't pull no punches. She'll tell you exactly what she believes, whether y'all agree with Pat or not, whether you agree with Lori or not, whether you agree with me or not. I respect everybody here because I respect people who will actually tell you what they believe and they have convictions in that belief and they will tell you why they believe it. You don't have to agree with them. I didn't think Americans in general, I just did that one. I believe there are far more people woke than there obviously are. Yes, John. Yes, there are. Yes. And you know what? And I believe that too. I believe that as well. I think there are far more people who are woke right now than what we even possibly know. I don't think the media is letting us see that. I don't think social media is letting us see that. I know that they're distancing us from people who are woke. And because before, John, I thought it was just me. Right? I thought it was just my friends, and I was questioning it. It's like, are people really waking up, or is it just because I'm gravitating around more woke folks? No, I think people are waking up in mass. In mass. The majority of people I talk to on most days, and I like to talk to people all the time. Gerard, I thought you said you try to stay away from people. I do. I talk to people after I have coffee. After in the morning, after I put something in my stomach, I eat some raw beans and the zucchini and a banana, and I get my coffee, and then I can deal with the Americans. And then I can deal with them till about 2 or so. Maybe around 2, 3 o'clock, then my patience. But real talk. Most people I meet know that they're not being told the truth. Most people I meet know that they're not being told the truth. I'll tell you my opening line. My opening line to start discussions, I like to break the ice with people. If we're in the grocery store or in the line or wherever, just bopping around, I'll say, hey, how's it going? How you enjoying the apocalypse? Right? Well, it doesn't really go like that because we got to wear face diapers. So I'm like, yes, I still do put in my face diaper. I know Tony's gonna call me an idiot, but that's okay. Sometimes Tony gotta call you an idiot. He keeps me grounded. He keeps me grounded when Tony says, Gerard, stop being a part of the moron population. Like, yeah, well, you know what? Everybody's got to pick their fight. And he's right. But he said, how you enjoying the apocalypse? Right, I say that and the other person will say back, It's my state, y'all. I'm not fighting that battle. I got some battles I'm gonna fight. That's not my one. Everybody's kind of got their thing. It's like somebody with the RPG, right? You're in a conflict. You're somebody with an RPG. You don't shoot the RPG at the guy on the bicycle, okay? That's not what you're there for. I pick my battles. That's not my battle. As long as they let me do. Now, if they say I got to wear the medical thing, that's a whole nother discussion. If I can wear this to go get my international creamer to put in my coffee, I throw this on and I'll laugh and joke about it. But I use it to meet people too. You're the RPG guy. You don't fire till the helicopter shows up, okay? When they show up to the door with that, we got your cure, Gerard. Mr. Hay, open up. We got your cure. I told you how that's gonna go. You're gonna see me go live at a time that I ain't never went live before. It's like, what the hell? Gerard is going live at 2 o'clock in the morning. What the hell is going on? It must be at his door. And all you're gonna see is me doing stretches. Gotta make sure I don't pull nothing. Gotta look good in the casket. I'm gonna get my stretches. All right, look out that door. Yep. Mr. Hay, you need to open up the door so we can give you your cure. I'm saying, listen. Why you got people at the car? Why are they at the car? They need to have to get out that car. Well, we're just gonna give you your injection. Well, I'm trying to tell you before I open this door. No, you're not. I'm trying to tell you right now. No, you're not. I need everybody to get out your cars. Need to put on your equipment. All of it, just all of it, all 60 pounds of it. The things that go over your face and stuff and the shields, all of that. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't right in the head. I done got my stretches out. And this is where I draw the line. I wore a face diaper for damn near 7 months now. Where y'all are going, I'm not going with you. Right? I'm not going to a place with you where Rockefeller medicine, for-profit, corporate crony people who don't even have an indemnity for their product are shooting that in my veins. I can't go that far. It's like okra. You gotta have your limits. I got my limits. So I got my stretches. If y'all want to stretch, I give you a few minutes. I'm just live streaming right now. I'm just talking to my friends. And it's tied up to the cameras outside too. So if you take my phone, they still gonna see me and hear Purple Rain and watch y'all kill me to Purple Rain. All right. And then they're gonna see the essential oils that get sprayed on you and they actually know that that's not essential oil. I told you something wrong with me. Anyway, no, that's where I draw the line. I'm not interested in that. They can listen, I'm on Earth too. We're gonna build a free Earth, a free planet where adults make adult decisions, children are respected and loved, everybody has freedom. I believe that that's coming. I do believe that that's coming. That's the only thing that you gonna get me going on, but you ain't gonna get me going on. No, Fauci gonna tell you how to live your life, and Bill Gates and big criminal corporations, nah, I can't see that world. It's like these people on this post, like, you can only see but so much stuff before you see too much pain. I can't see people I've respected my whole life walking around in face diapers. That's just wrong. Y'all is removing my hope in humanity. I'd just rather go to the next dimension or start the game back over as a baby in Palestine or somewhere else. I don't know. But I'm not going where y'all are going. All right. Let me start to wrap this up. A couple more, then we're going to go. Good responses. Good responses. Let me see. Deborah Martin said, nope, it just reinforces the knowledge that one must look at everything at all sides, come to a conclusion that is still subject to revision. Yeah, all sides, Deborah, all sides. Always when you hear the story from the left, go to the right. Hear the story from the right, go to the left. That's the only way you're going to know what's true. And you still probably won't know what's true. If anybody has a team, they got a side, an identity, they're never going to tell you everything all true because that tribalism is too powerful. Nope, just further reinforce my long confirmed suspicions. Yes, it did, Brother Mark. That was the Mark Bowen. He was the one who gave me Decepticons and Republicans. Republic rats and Decepticons. Something like that. All right, not really. I pretty much expected exactly what's happening. Yes, Stacy LaForge. Yep. Yes, Vern Gibson said, yes, I live at the edge of the world because almost no people here. Yep, Vern. See, a lot of people, we're all on that same wavelength, like all the sustainability of growing food and making off-grid energy stuff and the project stuff I got my kids into. We've been planning this stuff a long time. I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. When we were all laughing and joking at Doomsday Preppers, y'all remember that? We all used to laugh like, they crazy. We go to work like, yeah, did you see last night? Man, this dude nuts. This guy, he got this. He's preparing this stuff. Yeah, man, these people crazy. I don't even know what the hell. I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. All of these people here, most of them, they were with me. They were taking notes. We laughed with y'all at work around in the Venetaria. But while we was watching, I was like, oh my God, aquaponics. Let me try that out. It's like, oh, you can make a solar panel out of this, that. Okay, we're going to have to try that. Let me see. If you build the walls high, okay, yeah, we're right. And you ignore all the zombie stuff. And I'm doomsday prepping for the volcano. And, you pick your thing. I threw all that away. I was just like, yeah, we got a fiat currency. This thing going to collapse. I used to play around in the stock market. It's like, yep, that's what's coming. Like, okay, I can grow this. I can eat this. Yep, all right, yeah, okay, don't ever hold a gun. Remember the guy who hurt him, he was holding a gun? I forgot what he did. He like pinched himself or something, blood was coming out, he started crying. Yeah, we've been doomsday preppers a long time. But my grandfather told me to. My grandmother told me to. My grandfather said, hard times always come. They always come. That is the default, is hard times. And even after if we do grow the hell up and we move to Venus Project, Ubuntu movement, Zeitgeist movement, create a society that respects human life instead of all this conflict nonsense, gift-based society, resource-based economy, we're still going to have problems and we're still going to have to reset. And hard times are still going to come. There is no utopia. Are we moving forward? Are we staying exactly where we are? And I will promise you one thing. If we continue to vote for feudalism, this 0.01%, these families that run all the corporations and industries and own all this and tell the nations what to do, we're never going to move forward. We're never going to move forward. Yeah, but it's funny, like I read the post, I'm like, yeah, you was a doomsday prepper, weren't you? I remember that episode. You was watching the one, no, because people have been planning for this stuff a long time. We knew this was coming. Even if you didn't watch the show, bad times always come. Always be prepared for the bad times. I remember one thing my father told me. I had to send that to my brother this morning. Gosh, I don't want to tell his business, but my father told me, he said, he believed in the system to a degree. He worked at the Pentagon. He said that, people who have land will make it. People with land will make it. And I think the way he put it, which I think he actually got it from my grandfather on my mother's side, out there in Atlanta, Maryland. Said if you always have a roof over your head and land under your feet, it will always be okay. Long as you got a structure to live in and some land that you can grow some food on, you'll always, no matter what comes, you'll always make it. Unless the Space Force and they got death energy weapons, the direct energy weapons, the alien invasion, somebody out there spraying cuckoo virus in your face. But no, I mean, before we gave the world's governments DARPA technology and agreed that we don't get to know what's true. Before we gave them all that stuff, as long as you had roof over your head and land under your feet, that you would always make it. You need to own land. You need to own land. You need to be smart enough to know what to do with that land. Your kids are depending on you. Your nephews are depending on you. Your nieces are depending on you. Your cousins are depending on you. Your neighbors are. Your friends who still believe this are depending on you. You have privilege. You have the privilege of knowing what others don't, of what's coming. I tell you this, if I was still believing in the system, I was still believing that I'm a slave and it's okay for people to own me as an adult or a child, I would hope that people who got it love me enough to not be bothered by my ignorance. I would wish if I were still out there voting on the left or the right, whatever, fighting the white and black fights and the Muslims and Christians and all of this nonsense, I would hope that people would be wise enough to think back to the day where they were fooled too. And just say, that's okay. You know what? Gerard is stupid. He just keeps, he's ignorant. He's not stupid. He's just ignorant. He keeps posting on, we need to vote blue no matter who. We need to vote red or we gonna be dead. He keeps posting that because he believes, but you know what? I love the brother. I've known him my whole life. I love that brother. He's been fooled. And I'm just not gonna let him being fooled allow me to let him die. He's got some kids and he's got family and he likes to eat food too and drink water. And it's not really his fault that he watches TV and he believes, right? I'm gonna make sure that he's gonna be okay. This is where we need to be acquiring land and preparing for a long, hard, not fight, but to survive. To survive. To create a world on the other side, and Earth too, where all will thrive. We can do it. We can do it. We just gotta actually have the ethics and morals and passion that we say that we do. And we just have to love people. We have to understand that we're all connected. Nobody's separate. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. I have no qualms with the left nor the right. Got no qualms with QAnon. Got no qualms with Black Lives Matter. Got no qualms with Antifa. Got no qualms with the Prayer Boys, the skinheads, the Ku Klux Klan, the Chinese, Russia, none of them. They're all my family. They're all my family. Just because they were born in a different place than I was, doesn't mean they're not family, right? I was born, where was I born? I probably shouldn't say that, but I was born in Washington, D.C. I won't say the hospital. And my brothers were born in different hospitals. That doesn't mean that we're any different. They were born in hospitals a few miles apart. We're still brothers, we're still family. We're all family. Just because you were born in a hospital in South Dakota, that made no difference. Just because you were born in a hospital in Alabama in a poor white neighborhood and you grew up and people told you that what's wrong with the world and why you don't have anything and why your dad isn't home or whatever is because people who look like me took all the resources and so you got to live a life of poverty, and some group called the Ku Klux Klan came along and said, hey brother, we love you, come with us. That's all right, there's nothing wrong with that. You were supposed to do that. Every child that's born on this planet just wants love. That's it. I ask you to think about people on the other side though, right? The kids growing up in the barrio and the ghetto, same thing. Same child, different neighborhood. Born 100 miles, 200 miles apart. Grew up in Atlanta. Didn't have any resources. Dad wasn't home. And there actually is some truth to what I'm saying, dad not being home, because Obama wasn't completely lying when he said what he said to men on Father's Day. You know, women need to let dad be around. Women need to encourage dad to step up and put down the beer, and put down the tractor pull, and put down the video games and be more of a pop. Circumstances are what they are. But the same kid born in one place, born in the other place, has the Bloods and the Crips come up to him and says, look, you know what, brother, we love you. We love you. We're going to look out for you. You can be safe walking to school. We're going to make sure that your little sister is safe too. You know, all you got to do is take this blue thing and wrap it around your head. You're a part of the Bloods and the Crips now. You're safe. You're protected. Your little sister can go to school without fear of somebody grabbing her up. I know I would. I know I would. You know. So, and this is more and more how I think about it, that we allow our indoctrination and our birth location to divide us up to get involved in conflicts of fools. You either mean it or you don't. You either mean it or you don't, people. All right. Can you build a solar panel collection and storage unit? Learn. Yes, Jimmy, I can. The kids and I did that as a project. The kids didn't half pay attention. they were kind of young when we built the solar panels, but we bought the solar, not the whole panel, but the solar cells. That's what they're called. The solar cells, you strip them together. It was called tabbing wire. You use soldering. You know, it's a great project, a fun thing to do if you've never done it before. I think you can still buy the kits online. I didn't buy the kits, Jimmy, because I like to do things from the ground up. So I bought my solar cells, the tatting, and the soldering, and yeah, we made solar panels. They were not that efficient. They were not that effective, but we did that. And the hardest thing about doing that is making a weatherproof casing. Or the hardest thing for us right? Like you can do the math and figure out how to make them, but the hardest thing was doing a weatherproofing case. That was the challenge. A little bit of moisture does a lot of damage. But then we also wrote the software to make the panel burn, right? You got to get ready for a long-term engagement. People don't know what to do. You got a little extra money. You need to buy you some solar panels. Get ready for a long haul. This is not, get back to normal is not a thing. Things are not getting back to normal. The old world is burned. Earth 2 is either going to be a new video game that the 0.01% have the controllers, or Earth 2 is going to be something free that the kids will bless us for. What is G reading off? Oh, Citizen Dev. No, that's my post on Facebook. I asked people, do they believe anything significantly different now than they did 7 months ago before all this all started? And people were saying the things that they believe. And most people here, which is how I know I have the right group of friends, they're saying, no, nothing I really believe changed much. You know, we knew this was coming. We were trying to prepare for it. We're just trying to let people know and look out for each other. I tagged you on food porn, G. What you tagged me on food porn for, Melissa? As long as there ain't no okra, we good to go. No officer off, not officers off gridders. Yep, Jeannie, it's just time to walk away. People want to fight and they want to protest, and that's the way. I guess you got to do what you got to do if you really feel that you're called to do that. But there are people who need to bring awareness, and their inner self is telling them that they need to do that, and so they should do that. But for me, it's walk away time. All right, face diaper fashion show upcoming. Y'all gonna like them. I know, Pat, I know it is. Please tell me that's you doing some memes and some jokes and pictures, not people seriously wearing face diapers that are designer. I've had it with the face diaper. I don't want to see no more of that. I don't need to, unless it's pictures with people taking 2-liter Coke bottles and putting them over their face. I'd enjoy seeing that, but I don't see nobody else taking this seriously. 6%. 9,210 people actually died of this specifically. We need to have the FBI, the CIA, and any other acronym agencies starting to investigate where this came from. I'll leave it at that. You need to be doing an interview. Y'all need to go interview Judy Miscavige. You need to interview Sharon Tenpenny. You need to interview Del Bigtree. You need to interview the people who are telling, and the other scientist, the other one who told you that this doesn't come from no damn bat. The people who worked in the laboratories, y'all need to interview them. You took an oath, you swore to it. Please step up. Step up. It's not time to be a coward. The same way I'm telling you, I ain't no coward. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. Time to y'all step up and show that you are a part of our tribe as well. I'm building an automatic hypersonic bong wash for the new silicone water pipes. It's a good thing, Jimmy. People gonna need bongs in the future. Gonna need a whole bunch of bongs everywhere because it's gonna be rough times. Rough times. Sherry Tenpenny. Okay, I got the name wrong. That's it right there. Today, Del Bigtree. Oh, today is Thursday. Thank you, Christine. So we're not doing a panel today. And if y'all want to do a panel today, no, you can't. Doesn't he start around 1? If y'all have not watched Del Bigtree, you need to. He's not going to be on Facebook long. He's already been deleted from YouTube. This is a man who created a WikiLeaks for medical professionals and scientists to tell you about the real world as being the veil that's being put over your eyes. Lori said a baby in Palestine. Yeah, you know what, Lori? I had a cushy life this life. Maybe I should my next round, maybe a baby in Palestine. You know. I think this is a video game, Lori. You know my thoughts. I think that we do get reincarnated and we come back. And I think that we all experience different things. And I think that's an experience that I'm too privileged to know enough about. Ooh, y'all are going back and forth. Ooh, deep diving. Ooh, Melissa, you talking about deep dive? Deep divers, deep divers. I was watching him this morning. Ralph Smart, that's his name. I was watching him this morning. Ooh, slow turn to the left. I don't even know what that means. I just love it. I do it. Sometimes I'm walking in my day, Melissa, if we're talking about the same dude. I'm just like, ooh, breathe in that sexy ass prana, baby. Ooh, slow turn to the right. And I have no idea what it means. People listen to me listening to Ralph Smart and they're like, what the hell are you listening to? Who the hell is this guy? He's a happy guy. You got to be happy. You can't be sad in the apocalypse, people. It's just a revealing. You have to find things that make you happy and embrace those things. Everything's gonna be all right, I think. Diane said the branch Covidians. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, you gotta find yourself, try to find yourself people who know truthful things and they say smart things and they make you happy. You gotta be happy. Do not let people get you upset. You will make the worst decisions in fear and when you're upset. Don't ever let you get upset. Yeah, that good ass prana, baby. That's what he says, Pat. He had a good one this morning. I think it was this morning. Well, I guess it was yesterday. I watched it this morning. Let me see. You choose to be the helper. Yes, you do, Melissa Osa. You got to choose to be the helper. Choose to help or choose to make it worse. We're going to need a bigger garden for the root and a root cellar. Yes, you are, Deanna Lou. I seen your garden. You need to step it up. You need to put some Viagra on that garden, darling. I ain't seen the garden. And she out there. I don't know. How do y'all even grow food you're in Oregon or Alaska, right? How y'all even grow food out there? I have enough trouble here. I don't know how y'all do it. It's cold. It's cold. I have no idea how people in cold, because like I can be lazy, I can plant late and I still get something. If you're up there, you can't mess around. You got to get that food in the ground. You're going to die. That grizzly bear going to eat you if you don't get that food going. And plus, y'all got Bigfoot up there too. Ralph Smart is awesome. He is, Shatita. I love that brother. I love that brother to death. You know why I love him to death, Shatita? It's because he's not hiding who he is. Is he crazy? Hell yeah, that man crazy out his mind. He crazy out his mind, that man. But you know what? He's crazy happy in love. That's what he was talking about, Earth 2. That's actually where I got the name from, Shatita. He was talking about Earth 2 this morning, yesterday. But he lets you see who he is. He didn't worry about what people think about him. He's just doing him, and he's a happy dude. And I think more people need to be happy and just show the world who you are. And if you're not happy, you still need to show the world who you are. This is why I don't say anything about protesters. I think that people need to show who you are. You need to show what you really believe, and that way we can make good decisions off of that. There is no hate speech. People need to say what they believe so we can make good decisions. I need to hear and I need to see on TV people yelling and screaming, trigger this, trigger that. I don't like no dirty, filthy triggers, not around in my neighborhood, blah, 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 blah. So I know. If I know that these things are still real and they're still around, then I know what I need to do. I need to love people more, right? Because that's the only way you heal racism is with love. The only way you put out a fire is with water, not with more fire. Not to get out there yelling and screaming about white privilege. That just pisses people off. It makes them angry. You grow racism that way, right? I need to know that. I need to know the truth. That's why I love apocalypses. Let me see what's true. I need to see what's behind the veil so I know. We put the cameras on the police, right? Now everybody knows. Yes, they literally shoot people who are unarmed in the back running away. They shoot people who are handicapped. They shoot women. Yes, they do. Okay, so what do? Now we have that information. It wasn't censored from us. You can see that. They're still censoring the white people. Keep that in mind. There are more white men die by police than black men in number, not by percentage. So they got a reason to be pissed off too, right? So what do? Well, you dig into the problem. What's the problem? Is the problem the police? Oh, well, okay, so if they shoot white people too, then they're not racist. What's wrong? Authority. Well, no, I'm not saying that ain't the truth, because I guarantee somebody shot somebody because he's white. I guarantee there's like, you know what, I'm going to shoot him. Look, hey, brother, look at this right here. What's he doing in this neighborhood? I believe police probably did that too, because you have psychopathic police, like you got psychopathic doctors, like you got psychopathic teachers, like you got psychopathic everybody. All right, they're everywhere, and politicians. And others look at the black dude like, yeah, he probably can't afford no lawyer, whatever. Let's see if I can shoot him. Yeah, that happened. So what's the issue? How do we fight that? Do we get out there and fight the emotion, racism? Do we fight the side effect of scarcity? Or do you say, who the hell gave anybody the authority to shoot people on the street? Who did that? I don't care what color they shoot. And I don't care if they're men, women, and handicapped, grandma, white, black, whatever. Who gave anybody the authority to shoot somebody on the street because they got a speeding ticket and they ain't paid? Who did that? And who's keeping that? In a time now where you've got non-lethal rubber bullets that you can fire and hit people. That's why I say, I respect Israel when it comes to that. Israel will shoot the hell out of people with some rubber bullets. They will. They pop, 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 pop all day long, like they live in LA or Chicago or something. But in America, you have two political parties who refuse to take lethal weapons out of policemen's hands. Not only that, not only just switching to non-lethal weapons, but they're writing more laws that are unconstitutional to pit the police against the people even more. See, I have no issue with police. I have no issue with teachers. I have no issue with doctors. I have no issue with nurses. I have no issue with engineers. I have no issue with anything that's insignificant. My issue is, did you create a model that is okay with the murder of people? Did you create a model that does not respect people's sovereignty? Did you create a model that feels it can force vaccinate people? Did you create a model that will shoot people in the street? And if you did, it's the modelers I got an issue with. Or the original architects. And all the original architects of all this nonsense are all dead. My issue right now is with the politicians, the two political parties. Not one, both. Not one politician, not all of them. The system. Fight the system. And if the system is keeping this going, it's the system that needs to die. They need to know that I don't believe in it anymore. They need to know that I don't believe in war. I'm not going to study it no more. I don't believe in creating racism by fighting racism. I don't believe in any of that anymore. I don't believe in empowering the left to piss the right off, to empower them some more, to piss them right, left off more, to keep doing that so corporations win every damn time. I don't believe in any of that anymore. And the only way that they'll know is if I unregister to vote. So that's what I'm going to do right after this. After watching Del Big Trees, I'm going to go out to Secretary of State. Apparently, they all got a website. All of them. Go out to my Secretary of State's website, and I'm going to find how to unregister to vote. Because I really don't give a damn who wins. You believe in things that are not a part of my faith, my belief, my ethics, my passions, and you don't do anything I don't want my kids to be subject to in the future. So I love you to death, but your system can go to hell. We need an earth too. We need to resonate on that level. All right, I got to get going. Last couple comments and I'm out. Ralph Smart is awesome. Yes, he is. Prana is masculine energy. Akasha is the feminine. Okay, Jeannie, go ahead and you speak that truth. Breathing. I ain't going to breathe in the Akasha. I'm not going to breathe in the Akasha. I'm going to breathe in the Prana. I got my LGBTQ brothers and sisters. I got their back all day long. But I'm not going to breathe in the Akasha. I'm strictly Prana. Breathe in that sexy ass Prana, baby. How come he doesn't say Akasha then, Jeannie? Why does he leave women out? Yeah, that's what's up, Gerard. I agree. All right, Shatita. Psychopathic. Yes, it is, Holly. We don't need to vote for psycho in the path no more. We need to go ahead and let the psychotic system go its own way. We did it. We sat on our fat butts and watched it unfold and did nothing. Ooh, Holly, please tell me you're talking about World War II. I'm not going to sit around. I'm not a sitter on my butter no more. Nope. Now I see what they did. Not gonna sit around. I'm not a sit arounder. I'm not a sit arounder and watch you get out there with some contact tracers and drag some children out their houses. That's not gonna happen. That's not on my watch. What am I gonna do? But that's up to you. That's up to you. I can tell you this though. I'm not going along with it. That's not in my culture. I'm not one to stand around and just watch some woman be raped by a mob. I'm not someone to stand around and watch a gang beat them up. I don't do that. I didn't. Therefore, what I say next. We are all a part of the one. And if your right hand can sit there and watch somebody else abuse your left, then the whole body deserves to die. Any species divided against itself will fall and should fall. It's not a species. It's something that's ignorant, that has no place in the ecosystem. All right. Last couple comments. I gotta go. We got to free the people. This is what it's all about. This is why I always appreciate Brother Pat Riley for writing this song. Do you want to free the people? That's what it's about. It's about freedom. It's about being a real Harriet Tubman. Real Harriet Tubman. Not a Harriet Fudman. It's a fake nonsense. Harriet Fudman. I'm a Harriet Fudman. I don't believe in freeing the people. You're either supporting this 0.01% or you're not. All right, temperatures inland California will be up to 105 this weekend. If you are there in the desert, get out if you can. I fully expect blackouts and at zero AC. Pat, I think the blackouts are coming. I think Q was wrong with the wind, but I'm sure it's coming. They're going to turn that internet off. They're going to turn the lights off and the power off. Because right now, it's not an apocalypse, Pat, not for most of us. You know, I talk about dark stuff because I know people are living in darkness and they got it rough. I know because they're out there burning cities down. But not me. Not me. I wake up, I got food in my belly, water, the light and the power's on. I got Wi-Fi. Look out my window, see Americans eating ice cream. As long as out there eating ice cream, everything good to go over here. That dark time is coming. They need to put the hurt locker on the vast majority to get us to agree to go along with their craziness. But I never go along. They can do anything they want to do. I actually don't need the power. I don't need the water. I don't need their grocery stores. I can grow my own food. I can get my own power. I've been planning for this stuff for a long time. I raised kids who can mostly do that. Not interested in what they got. What you selling, you're not selling it. See, if you were selling something, I might listen to what you're selling. But they're not selling anything. They're literally using force to tell the whole world what it's going to do. Anytime you want me to go the other way, all you got to do is tell me what to do, and I'm going to go the other damn way, because you crazy as hell, whether it's Twinkies